sky's beautiful and so are you. I wanna make it up to you, start something new. Yeah, I've been thinking of the parts I play for you. Now I'm drinking from the bottle as I do. It's like a long dream. You're on the wrong team. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie. So I can do what this and make us both forget. Only to start it up and play it out again. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie.
Red Bull Flick Invitational comes to Helsinki in November. Amateurs challenges the top names in Counter-Strike like Alexi B and Valky, Dota and Diha, Nico and Hunter. Come and witness live the race for 50,000 euros. Get your tickets now at redbull.fi/flick.
And it's finally time to make sure who the winner of the ELISA Invitational Fall 2021 is, because we have Copenhagen Flames going against Fiend, and these are the finalists.
These are the finalists.
These are the finalists, indeed. Facts, straight facts from the desk. It's a huge grand final here. 50K going to the winner, while the second place, I don't even remember how much they got, but way less. That's what I like about this tournament. It's very top heavy. You want to win, making the final. Sure, a great storyline, but now that first place is up for grabs, and with not really the teams that we were expecting, right?
No, definitely not. A lot of. Just expected, like the teams that we were expecting to go far going out early on. Just today, a big surprise in the way that Flames was able to eliminate Gambit, who were the heavy favorite coming into this day. Wasn't meant to be, and now we're gonna be treated to what I expect to be a very, very, very tight game.
Yeah, and in my opinion, we should take a little bit of a look on how we actually got here, because it's been a long road for these teams. Copenhagen Flames and Fiend was one of those teams that actually had to qualify for this tournament. They were battling before this section of the tournament even started. They had a long road to come here.
Yeah, both of the teams coming from the main Swiss stage. Copenhagen 3-0 there, while Fiend, it went all the way down to the fifth match there. They made it through 3-2, and now the Cinderella run is happening all the way to the final, and even beating some really solid teams throughout the way. So a very surprising run from Fiend.
Yeah, I mean the top backstory of this matchup has to be the RMR, which happened just last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, time flies. I can't even remember what happened last weekend, but I think it was last weekend.
It was 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Time flies indeed.
These teams face one another. I'm going to say it again. For a spot in the major, it was Copenhagen Flames that came through. They beat Fiend 19-16 on Nuke, and then it was a 28-25 scoreline on Inferno. So two very highly contested maps, and CPH Flames just narrowly edging out and winning that one, qualifying for the major. So you would imagine Fiend will come into this with a bit of vengeance.
Yeah, and as we are going to figure out who will take the 14K home and who will take the absolute prize of the $50,000 on this tournament, we have the two teams on the screen at the moment. It's Copenhagen Flames versus Fiend, and it's the full teams right here. And we've seen these stats many times already, but it's always interesting to talk about, especially in this final best of three.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Teams are quite close to each other in the world rankings. I think we do give a bit more praise to Flames and how they've been rising the ranks lately. But don't forget about Fiend as well. I think they've shown a lot of guts, being able to play as well as they have this week after the massive disappointment they had in the RMR. There's two ways that can go for a lot of teams. Some teams would be sobbing and playing horrible CS afterwards and be demoralized, but it feels like, they've taken the other route, and they're
it's
back.
A booster.
Yeah, well, in a sense, yeah. Like they've managed to deal with it appropriately.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the mentality of these teams. It's really strong for both of them. Just looking at their playoff bracket here now, Copenhagen Flames obviously beating out Gambit just a couple of hours before this grand final started, 16-13 on both of those maps. Massive performance, and that's really got to give still an extra confidence boost to this relatively young lineup.
Yeah, that's true. And we do have an interview, and the dude is Yabi. Let's go check him out. Check him out. Wow.
When we played against Ego, we just came here at the IEM. So that was one day after we just got the new setup, and so they play some really good Counter-Strike, I would say. We have the same map pool, so yeah, that was a tough game. But overall, I think everyone in this tournament we should beat at this point. I think my role is pretty good for me because I'm a guy who likes to do plays and take initiative, and I can do that when I'm playing myself on the side. So I think it fits me very well, and on the team we are really good at playing off each other. So if someone is doing that, then I can do another thing to be ready to get some space another side on the map. So yeah, I think it suits us all really good. I think the big issue is that maybe we are not ready from the start, or we are just digging ourselves down in the hole if we get behind fast in the first couple of games. Like if we are behind 6-0 and it's just going bad, we start bad off and then we're basically just digging ourselves down. So that is one of the problems we have worked on a lot, and we are working on everything we can work on. So it's a great progress. Yeah, my parents support me a lot, and I think just overall eSports is becoming more and more popular and a sport, if you can call it that. So I would say it's, yeah, I'm getting support from friends and family. I wasn't really good at anything. If I played some other games, it was just for fun, having fun playing some League of Legends, Fortnite, or whatever it could be.
Jabi is just a nice personality to hear from him. And to be honest, talking about Jabi, we should talk a little bit more about his stats. He had a really good performance, especially in this tournament, and it was just amazing to look at him play pretty much.
I mean, especially on the T side, he's been such a factor for Copenhagen Flames. Hooks is probably really happy. In-game leading, Jabi just telling him go make your plays, get the headshots, double headshots, even triple headshots onto a site, and naturally after that, it's so much easier for the other team to come behind him. They've almost been too reliant on him for my liking. Like, how many great plays can a single man make on the T side? But hey, it's worked out so far.
Right. Yeah, and if we want to highlight someone else on that team, it has to be Roy, who's been also amazing, very reliant. Just a lot of multi-kills in crucial situations, bailing his team out in man disadvantages, and just great playing. But those two were lights out today, playing against Gambit and also earlier on in this tournament.
Yeah, and before we actually forget about Fiend in just particular, it's nice to bring out that there was another player on that team who is Dreamer. He was doing well too.
He's had a banging tournament for sure. A player, if we go back, he was one of the casualties of not being a major eligible player for quite a while, but now with the changes that have come to the rulings, he is able to play the majors, and he's still been part of this. He's been part of this team still. I think he was sidelined from one of the older lineups because of his situation for a while, but because of how good he was and still is, as we can see here, he was brought back to the team. And this tournament, he's been delivering so many clutch situations, crucial spots where he's been able to win one for his team.
Yeah, a bit more of a mysterious player. We've asked him to come on the interviews, but doesn't really speak English comfortably enough to be here. So he just owns. That's all we know. And
he'll talk to us in Counter-Strike terms. Banging on
like
the server.
an art form.
Language of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, exactly. It's like language of love, but it's Counter-Strike instead.
Oh, I like spending time with you guys, but we have to move it on, and we are going to the map videos. And this is the finals. This is the time to actually make everything right. Whatever happened in the past, it doesn't matter. We're here now, and it's Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, I'm thinking it doesn't matter. Does the past matter? Because as we've been talking about 5 days ago, these teams met, and the map video was as such that Copenhagen Flames banned out Dust 2, Fiend took out Vertigo, and then we saw Nuke and Inferno overpass would have been the decider if it had gone that far. So my question is, are we going to see the exact same maps here?
Yeah, I love how that riled you up. That is amazing.
I think the one of the possibilities for Copenhagen Flames is Ancient for sure, because they've been so good on it. Fiend hasn't been red hot on it. The numbers do say, though, that Fiend hasn't had a super great time on Nuke in the big picture. And maybe that is why they could go for it again. So on the side of Flames, but we're about to find out.
Okay, yet again, like a noob question, because most of these teams have seen them play all the maps pretty much by far. Just keeping an eye on how they've been doing against the other teams and just looking towards the other teams. Will this be a factor when they pick these maps now?
I mean, typically teams have analysts who go through the opposing side. You have a feel already, like what maps could it be in the game, because you know your own vetoes, you know the tendency of your opponent, and then the analyst goes through the maps and kind of finds out a few pointers here and there. But also in the case of these two teams, they've played each other, I believe it was 8 maps since the beginning of September against one another, and they've just played 5 days ago against each other in a grueling, long overtime written game. So yeah, I'm not sure how much work they need to do on that department. I think if anything, it might end up the teams having a bit of mind games to one another because of the understanding and knowledge of who the lurkers are and, you know, how do they tend to attack bomb sites and so forth.
Yeah, and as these teams have met just 5 days ago, and this final...
It's the same maps, by the way.
This is what I'm thinking, because we played the semifinals today. These teams generally wouldn't have had time to prepare anything new, especially because the bracket has been so surprising. So I don't think you can prepare for every single possible opponent in the bracket. You have to prioritize, and that's my thinking here. These teams haven't maybe looked into anything special, especially after that RMR meeting. So Inferno, Nuke, there we go. Overtime's last time that these two teams met. It should be a close one again.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, if I look at the games, all the maps have gone, well, double digits for both teams. They've been 16-14, 10-16, 16-13, 11-16, 16-12, 15-19, 16-19, 25-28.
Yeah.
The list is quite amazing. Like, this should be such a nail-biting game. Should be about a matter of one frag here or there, a decision here and there that's going to make a difference between these two teams, at least on paper.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the scores, even though it was 2-0, and these are exactly the same maps that we saw before. Something that keeps an eye out is that all of the games have been so close, it doesn't really matter. This actually might be one of those games where ifs and buts could actually change a round or two, and maybe even a map.
Yeah, I mean, it's, for me at least, a bit of a coin flip going into this game. You kind of think, yeah, Copenhagen Flames, with how Roy is playing, how Yapi is playing, that they should be able to edge it out. But then again, Victor found some form of his lifetime today, this week rather. And on top of that, he had Dreamer who's playing some of the better Counter-Strike he's played, and Harn hitting some good shots. So there's some heavy hitting players on the server today, for sure.
All right, and we are going to roll out the key points, Ro, but you can actually take this away.
All right, final key points of the Fall Invitational. The first one is Roy has been doing in work, or putting in work rather. That's what we always joke about here. He's going to work every single round, seemingly getting those 3Ks. For my money, he has been the most consistent player with the most impact in this matchup. Nothing to take away from Dreamer. He's been great too. And then the second point from the Fiend side, I feel like they have found their confidence again after that loss, or all the losses they suffered in the RMR. They've really beat out some good teams here and maybe finding their form again. And obviously their RMR rematch, and how many times even outside of that these teams have met. They're so familiar with each other. It should be a really, really close series.
Okay, and I need a serious answer here. Is it fair to say that Copenhagen Flames kind of came from the harder side of the bracket? Because they did have to play against Gambit.
I guess it's fair to say when you have to play Gambit in this tournament that it probably was the harder side, but yeah.
Okay.
Didn't matter to them.
Yeah, and before we actually start Inferno, we will check out the predictions, and they are pretty much under, well, me. And, whoa, this is kind of a...
I love it. Finally, the casters have split up.
Yeah, this is the first time that actually we see this.
You love to see it.
Yeah, so it's Copenhagen Flames, and Copenhagen Flames. Then it's Fiend 2 times, and, well, we have a good chance to actually win something here.
Yeah, this just speaks to how close this matchup should be. It could come down to those key rounds here and there. Maybe a single player rising above the others here. It's a nail biter, but my money is on Copenhagen Flames here.
All right. Anything to add?
You saw where my money is.
Well, it seems like it. So that's pretty much it. I think it's time for us to start the final and the first map, which is Inferno. Dwayne and Jay, take it away.
Yeah, Nata giving the best impression of my prediction process in this particular matchup. Down to the wire, this one should be close. It could go either way. I do have to say that Copenhagen Flames are probably favoured thanks to that Gambit result and the fact they won against Fiend in that match they played a handful of days ago, Dwayne. So at the end of the day, it's all just down to whoever comes in here on the day. History favours the Flames, but Fiend have a great chance.
And we say that sometimes, right? It's on the day performance. And how do you even weigh that up? Fiend looks so incredible in their game. So do Copenhagen Flames. This is a tough one.
Indeed, it will be. So buckle in, strap yourselves down and get ready because the last 2 months are led up to this very point right here. The grand finals of the ELISA Invitational.
You got to imagine, Jay, all eyes are going to be on deck to see if we get any more overtimes today. Fiend starting off on their CT side. And for Copenhagen Flames, you've got some util to come in for Hooksy. No nades out for the Fiend squad. No kit either.
They want to hold on to the whole defensive line just on the basis of kill counts alone. No need to retake, no need to stall. On the Copenhagen Flames, they're set towards mid in the brackets control. One player in, apps make a little bit of noise, but Fiend are not going to move from their positions. They're happy to sit pretty and wait.
Now, that's that first pick coming through onto Yabi. Roy now looking for an answer back onto that balcony position. And even for Han taking that contact, they haven't exploded on to getting the information on where Victor or Dreamer is in and around that site mini pit area. Copenhagen Flames, if they try and split into CT, they'll still have to deal with Bubble.
And walks out towards that long position for Nico Odos. Trying to press forward with Bubble watching the USP, sees his man, tags him up a little bit or attempts to do so. Red Star is the man that goes down out towards the B site. Xiphon going to try and isolate the one individual. Bubble could get sandwiched in by the two attacking T forces. He's going to try and push forward, look for his man, see him on that flick, gets back out of dodge. Meanwhile, hard on rotation, catches Nico Odos. So it'll be a man advantage for Fiend, but they have lost the B site.
And the problem here without a kit and any nades is you do have to get a move on it. That's why the Banana players are coming in so damn quickly. Copenhagen Flames don't even have someone looking there.
And Glock takes face, Victor takes damage, and Roy eventually gets that kill. Him there with a responsive, gets his double up, and the highlight man of this week is going to step up to the table. It's all on Xiphon now, 1-on-3. Watching out to the entrance of the site, sees one player trying to tap up Han, but no, Dreamer comes up with a triple and wins the pistol round for Fiend.
And I've just realised now, Jay, in the KD differential for Dreamer and Han combined, the entire playoffs, that ace between them now puts them at positive 150 in 3 games played so far. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, these guys have been the guys of the week, man. Like, now they're stepping up to the table. We know that it was Victor and Red Star that had their moments in the previous series in the semi-finals. But when it comes to consistency, Dreamer and Han have kept pace and they've had bigger performances. So keep your eyes on them. They may become the winning elements for Fiend as history stands. Inferno's got to go well for them. They get the first picks. They get dibs this time around. Copenhagen Flames are able to win this map out in a 28-25 overtime. Dwayne, you casted that match. What was it that went wrong for Fiend? What was the difference maker between these two squads?
The difference maker was the important rounds. It seemed as if for Copenhagen Flames, they kept pressure on. The double AWPs weren't really finding a massive amount of success for the B-side executions. When you think about Fiend on CT side, it seemed as if when they were there with the double AWPs, it didn't quite find as much impact as maybe it does when they're more comfortable and when they're at home online.
The second map at Nuke also was this 19-16 win for Copenhagen Flames in that last series. Just to highlight the history of this matchup and how it's set to go. Again, the Danes have the favour of history, even if it is only slightly to their favour. In contact out towards the B bomb site. You mentioned how awkward the executions were to the B play. For Copenhagen Flames, they're being tentative for it.
I'm pretty sure in that best of 3 as well, for both teams combined, there was something like 12 or 13 map points that just didn't get converted. So there was both teams in the overtime situations that had the opportunity of closing, and it just kept going and going. And that's something you got to remember today. Re-smoke down to that Banana position. It couldn't be timed any better because Copenhagen Flames are stuck behind it now.
Boost Xiphon up to the site. AK in hand, the only one they have in play, of course, bolstered by that bomb plant from the pistol. Looking over towards the cross, 30 seconds. They're going to have to smoke off that cross and go for the flash in. They've got very little utility. Incendiary coming in at the perfect time here for the CT side. They can't extinguish it. The boost is going to be allowed. Nades at the ready. Damage done to Red Star, who's going to burn to 35. Victor comes up with that kill, meanwhile, out towards the long position. Roy to full. SMG a bubble. Still looking for players, and Nico Odos has caught him. Frag to a 4-on-4. Bomb can go down. Incendiary will try and force Huxi out of the way. It does burn him. No, Harm comes up with a kill. Victor with a responsive. Ziffon with a trade. 2-on-2, but the time's too low. Copenhagen Flames, they can't get the plant in, so Fiend will get their second, and Yabby will fall after time.
What a great round from Fiend. And that first pick on the wrap play to catch off the lurk on A just gave them the slight advantage. Beautiful lineup with the Incendiary. Normally we see it getting bounced off the wall or even thrown into the dark position from construction. It goes right onto that bomb planter and Hart even sprays through. That really gets the job done. Time is so low. Copenhagen Flames even lose a player after time, like you mentioned. And that now puts them in a position where they've got 2 AKs in round 3. What else have they got?
The Eagles and the P250 having to force the issue for the third round here. Not happy about that, but the save kind of has to see it coming in. The scout of harm. What a shot to Nico Odos. That's a start.
For Fiend, this is the first time this entire year that they've been able to get into the grand finals of an A-tier event. So that's pressure. You wonder, is it going to buckle them, knowing the experience that these guys have?
M4's bubble looking in towards this cross position again. The AK set the Ziffon. The smokes will go down. The utility centered around Copenhagen Flames. Work out towards the banana position. Again, being tentative about their push, but the timer cost them last time around. Is it smart to stick around still?
Yeah, they probably do need to have some more pace in this round. Even for the CTs, it's so defensive on B, it's so passive. Spams through the smoke from Bubble. Aren't really finding any connections. I say that, and Roy actually drops the bomb. Oh, there's the lineup again.
All-important frag. Red Star ready to put this Incendiary on towards the Coffin's position. Copenhagen Flames go for this plant a second time. They're going to get forced away and forced forward as well for the CTs. They'll back off this time. All good sprays for Huxi. Wants catching his teammate. Yami gets towards the first plant and does manage to put it down. Huxi will end up dropping, so it's a 5 versus 3, making it 2-1 as Bubble and Dreamer. Quick frags towards their favor. Nico Odos caught by Victor. All 5 alive for Fiend. This is a very solid start from them.
It just looks composed. That's the clear difference I'm seeing from this time to the last time we saw them on Inferno. Again, we're only 3 rounds into the game. You can see by that retake the amount of nades they're using, the way that they're trying to slow that round down, and how quickly everyone got into reposition situations.
It's so fast and efficient here for Fiend, and the early start has definitely worked towards their favor. They mentioned on the desk as well that they can't do directive preparation for these for this matchup because of the fact that they're both playing in semi-finals today. But for Fiend especially, you have to account for the fact that they did lose that matchup to Copenhagen Flames, and they won it by like a tiny margin. So to go back on demo review and take a look at that match for a second time and figure out what went wrong in that game, those small little nuances may end up being what could turn this series to their favor, especially if they keep this form. It's half buy-in for Copenhagen Flames for round 4. The rifle's already clear of that first frag, possibly the second here against Roy. They know that he's out there somewhere at Flower Pots or Flower Bed. Seen Victor gets out of dodge, Bubble's there to play him out.
I'm pretty sure after that game too, there were a few players from Fiend saying that, you know, how embarrassed they were and that they played so poorly. And I looked at that and I thought, did they really play poorly? It was such a tight game. So maybe for them, they had a game plan in mind and weren't quite able to execute it. So coming into Inferno today, I'm now looking to see what is that slight change? What is that variation? And so far, it seems to be quite easy pickings for them.
You've got to remember as well that point about that particular matchup was that it was qualification for the RMR, so pressure might have been on for them as Red Star reads Ziffon so well. They've got just the basics down pat. Copenhagen Flames picked apart by the simple pre-fire angles. They do get a bomb plant in this round. At least it is a half-fire round, so they can get the money bonus together for the next gun round. Triple up for Red Star before a start for Fiend. This is where Copenhagen Flames need to strike back.
Yeah, they do. At least that bomb is going to give them the extra cash injection. Fiend have had quite a few rounds where everyone's staying alive, so money's completely bolstered from them. Haven't even seen the orbs coming out for Han or Red Star just yet. And for Fiend, their utility usage is very much on point. We're seeing a lot of utility damage coming through. And notice how the nades are more so on the retake rather than in the early contact. Fiend are just not interested in taking banana control.
Fair enough if it works. M4 set, the 2 AKs, of course, safe in the previous round for Fiend. Copenhagen Flames on their full-on investment. There's plenty of cash available for the CT side as well. So solid bolstering in the first few rounds of the matchup. Gonna try and continue down that route here. Molotovs and flashes in. Xiphon gonna lead that charge to check out sandbags, but sees nothing of the CTs. They're passive.
Yeah, they've never really retaken top banana, so that might be an indication of what Copenhagen Flames can do with this banana pressure. HE going down, not really finding anything. There were quite a few retaking smokes left in CT spawn that Bubble can work with. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, perfect nade placement. You literally just mentioned it as well. Roy and Nico Odos down to 50 or thereabouts, thanks to one simple frag nade. Fourth player on the rotation might join the A-side defensive. Copenhagen Flames, majority of their presence out here. The bomb's not committed. It will go ahead and join them, so this looks to be the A play.
Yeah, weren't we praising Big for their utility usage? I feel like there's another team we need to keep an eye out for.
It's funny as well, we were praising Big for their utility usage on Inferno as well, so the parallels.
Yeah.
Right there and then for the Fiend side. Maybe they had a few things we overlooked during that matchup. 30 seconds and nothing for Copenhagen Flames to overlook right here. They've got to take the round itself, and they're just running out of time to do so. Again, timer hurt them last time around. See if we'll do so this time. Han set, sees Hooksy, does his damage, looks back into the center of the site. Victor and Dreamer looking for their contact plays, and Dreamer will catch Xiphon with Roy falling to 28 points of health. 12 seconds. Molotov's burn. Red Star gets Hooksy, Roy trades Dreamer. Victor still on the balcony. Bomb gets dropped as well in the center of the site, and Red Star secures that last frag. 5-0 for Fiends.
Yeah, they are absolutely rolling over, aren't they? Not many deaths being taken at all. Yabby, that had such a great game against Gambit, is 0-5. That just looked easy. Red Star making the push forward of that arch smoke just when he hears that long wrap. Victor's not even getting flashed on the balcony position. Everyone in rotates, and even Han, the moto player, was doing damage in that one.
A tactical timeout for Copenhagen Flames. I think the right time to call it in. Not the best of starts, and it is Fiend's map pick, so it's kind of okay, I guess. At the same time, though, it is a map that you're able to beat them on. If you want to get back into that winning position, you've got to start now. Lodging that first rifle round. On-plant bonus only going to be so effective towards them. They didn't get it in the last round, most certainly. He's just dipping into the savings accounts. What do they go for here? Eco, buy? It's going to be buy.
And Bubble gives me that sense that he's an in-game leader that even after the struggles and the heartbreak that it must have been of not making the major, as soon as you maybe have one day to call it off, it's back to business. And that's what we've seen from them in this playoffs is, yeah, we had our chance, we'll get it another time. Let's focus on what we've got in front of us today.
And 4 AKs on for the Fiend side. Copenhagen Flames make their moves up into the banana control. They'll have Nico Odos to lead that charge. The Deagle in for him. He's now going to leave it to the hands of Hooksy instead. And the nades again just dishing out tons and tons of damage. Execution will come in for it early regardless. Copenhagen Flames just going to run straight in towards Bubble. No smoke to cross. That's easy pickings for him.
Oh my goodness, what is going on? They go for the deep smoke, actually. Finally, they're able to get a trade back, a lurk smoke, and one down to deep CT. Han gets 2 kills over the top of the edge of the smoke, and Nico Odos is now in a 1v4. Fiends, they have been on fire!
That's sloppy from Yabby. Now Nico Odos is seen. Red Star can just calling his teammates to press the issue. Incendiary back out dark. Blind spray, he gets that one frag at least on Red Star. To get so much more though, nade to his position, and Victor secures the frag to close out the round for Fiend. 6 to the board. Wow, Copenhagen Flames stunned into silence, I feel like here. They are not having a good time at all.
And didn't Victor say in the interview, like, what are you going to do for the next few hours? Oh, I'm going to chill. Mate, I reckon he just said that. These guys have been drilling every strat possible in the book. They've been watching as many demos as possible because they have come out to Inferno and they have just been so on. Everything looks fantastic. The AKs are doing continuous so much damage. And Copenhagen Flames, 0-6, they just haven't managed a round yet.
The Tech 9s and a Deagle. Half buy in. Fiend had to go down to the wire against Copenhagen Flames. It still wasn't enough to beat out this squad. Incendiary is going to get extinguished by the smoke this time. A close smoke cross. The nade's doing damage. Not quite getting the frags here against the Flames. Incendiary will try to stop them getting towards the bomb plant position. Xiphon's going to fall for it, but Roy can still get the plant in. So again, money is gained for Copenhagen Flames. They'll have a decent buy in the next round, but they have to get the round itself.
Yeah, this just can't happen, right? You have a look at the HP numbers, just a pool of nades the Bubble's working with. He's throwing 2 or 3 HEs every round from that CT angle.
Tech9's waiting back, Incendiary's on, Yabi will burn. Taps forward from Han, eventually catching Hooksy. Yabi's going to get overwhelmed with the CT players out here. Digo back for Nico Odos does get 1 frag. And Roy trying to hold on here, makes it expensive at least for the CT side. Can't get Dreamer on ult. The diffuser gets stuck. It's going to be pretty close, but he's got the kit, so he should be fine. 7-0. Fiend right in prime position. Copenhagen Flames, they now need to get this rifle buy together.
We've seen, 7 rounds played, and Bubble is on 266 utility damage, and Han's at 199. So we are just seeing how much impact the HGs and Incendiaries are finding. Not just 1 round, here or there, Jay, every single round we're watching.
And the numbers on Copenhagen Flames don't look great. It feels like they've gotten complacent off the back of that semi-final match. 2 players on 0 frags, 0 assists, and 7 deaths. Hooksy and Yabi, I'm looking at you two, because those are players that had a really, really good series in the semis.
Yeah, they did, and they've got to start showing up. They can't afford to get off to a slow start and have to try and come back. Fiend don't even have anyone on the B side this time around. They've got a lot of players in spawn on rotation, and it shows characteristics of how they play B. It's always very much so on the back foot rather than actually engaging into a lot of these fights.
Aids up, Red Star ready with a flashbang. Han catches Ziphon, flashbang forward, and Han just hits both his shots. Hooksy down, Ziphon down. Nico Odos, Yabi, and Roy going to go out for the bomb, but where do they go with this? Out towards this long play is where Roy's going to go. Dry face again against Bubble. He's seen him, catches that info, calls in the rest of the CTs to try to deal with him. Yabi. So how the apartments will take 1 engagement and lose it out. Roy can get 1 trade, but it's him and Nico Odos versus the world.
Oh, even just peek in, drop that bomb. Roy's low HP, not another pick gets found. Fiend up to 8, Copenhagen Flames. Oh, I think they need to dive deeper into the tac books, right? Because my goodness, there is nothing finding connections. Another tactical comes out. Whether this is your map pick or not, this is unacceptable for Copenhagen Flames.
In a grand final as well after you beat Gambit.
Yeah.
What is the change in pace? What is the tactical pause we're going to discuss here? The Copenhagen Flames are a solid team. They've proven that already once today. They need to find something soon, though. 8-0. They can't rest entirely on their CT side to bring back this map. They can't rest entirely on their pick and a 3rd one. Because Fiend have come back with a vengeance. They want revenge.
Yeah, Fiend is 2nd in the entire event, Jay, for bringing back 4v5 situations 40% of the time. I can't remember the last time I saw them in a 4v5 situation. Not in this best of 3.
Flashes in. Han trying to find face. Ziphon takes early damage to the nades here. Fiend finding tags, but no kills in this round yet.
It does make you think, too, at the RMR, they're playing games every single day. Is there perhaps a lack of preparation, too, very similar to how the playoffs are here in ELISA, that you sort of play day after day? Well, for Fiend, they've had multiple days before the playoffs to read the competition and think to themselves, okay, if we're going to go deep, who are we facing and what's the most realistic expectation? Another HE onto Zephon. He hasn't even seen a CT player and he's down to 35.
Tags on Roy as well. Smokes in to try to go for the execution. There's one already down towards the cross. A resmoke will come in for the T side line. Nades coming in a little bit early. Copenhagen Flames are baiting out a little bit here. That bomb should cross get planted. There's no incendiaries that the CTs can use, at least they're not immediately to the site. As Hubble goes down, Red Star's left out towards Coffins. Will burn and give away info.
This is finally a situation that looks winnable for Copenhagen Flames. Opening pick, opening up the bomb side. Fiend have loved the retake.
Despite being down by a man, they've got the money to afford it. They might want to think about the AKs if they so desire. Flashes over. Roy just sat back here at the Shire. Victor burns Ifon back in the back of the site. So 4-on-4. Dreamer gets a trade. He's responded to by Yabi. Red Star moving in. Boost up. He runs out of ammo. Nico Odos can tap forward against him. Han looking for Yabi back over at the CT spawn. Doesn't catch him. The AK comes up good. And Victor's alone in the 1 versus 3. He gets that first. Looks for that second man. He struggles to find the spray. And the bomb's going up anyway. He will go down. Yabi might go with him. But it's finally that first round on the board for Copenhagen Flames.
Well, one element that I've seen differently here from Fiend than I did in their last head-to-head at the RMR is they love the retake-heavy stuff. Before, they were just playing people in the site. Red Star was playing a lot of second oranges. He's playing coffins. Nubox and Bubble was playing CT. So this is definitely the detachment from that game to what's been adjusted. And for Copenhagen Flames, it feels like they're starting to get a read on how they're playing B. And that one opening kill from Roy pretty much secured the round, or at least gave them a heavy advantage to work with.
Ops in. Han. Flashbangs against him, or at least force him back. Copenhagen Flames starting to gain a bit more map control and trying to force out mistakes from the Fiend side. Will he re-aggress? He will. He doesn't get killed off, but neither does he find the frag.
He's playing with confidence, and that's what I like to see. Even if Han's not hitting the shots, it's showing the guts, right? It's showing that risk factor of going for that aggressive move, trying to see if you can annihilate that first player, even bring Bubble back over to the B side. This could be a decent read because Copenhagen Flames, they've got the banana control. Oh, he's going again.
Bashed off, M4 spray, Galileo out, only does so much here as if on Bubble. Finally gets the opening contact kill for Fiend.
And they're just starting to rotate away. Look at the read that Fiend have got. They go, right, no more presence out to Banana, but we're just going to rotate 2 players back to A.
Here comes the walks out. Smoke's on. Suppression in. Roy. Incendiaries and nades from Bubble. Trying to counter him on that short presence. Again, the clock's going to go so low for Copenhagen Flames. They're going to act real quick. Smokes go down. Dreamer extinguishes that fire. Killed off by Hooksy. At least he does drop onto Roy. Yabi can get a kill from Victor's part. 3-on-3, but Bubble's here on the side. He deals with the bomb carrier. 20 seconds. Yabi now falling as Nico Otto's dropped to Han. He's out in the open for Red Star to find his pick and for Fiend to find 9 rounds.
And that one just comes down to the read. They get the first pick out to Banana. Han is just desperate for an opening kill. It's actually Bubble that's able to get it, even being half blinded, still winning that fight as Ifon. They rotate a couple of players back, and for Dreamer and Victor, even though they don't do a lot of damage between them, they're staying alive. They're wasting time.
Copenhagen Flames can't catch a break. Decent trading, but just not good enough here. Third tactical called in by them in 10 rounds, of which they found only 1 of them. What's going on here? What's happened to the Copenhagen Flames?
Well, no one's delivering individually is what I'm looking at straight away. You have a look at that kill distribution up for Fiend. 11 kills for Han, 10 for Dreamer, 10 for Red Star, 8 each for both Bubble and Victor. Roy's got 7. When's the last time we saw an opening man advantage? Oh, yes, that round they won. That one opportunity in 10 rounds they've had so far. They're lacking initiative with opening fights. They're getting naded down to oblivion. So even before they even take contact, they're getting themselves down to, what, 50, 60 points of health in some of these duels. And the youngsters of Yabi and Zifon just aren't delivering here on the T side.
Deagle's in. Smokes to extinguish the fire out towards Banana control. The nades up, the incendiaries down, Bubble will spray. Look for a single K, but can't catch him. Again, Copenhagen Flames want to play behind these smokes. It doesn't matter to Fiend, really, because eventually they'll find those frags regardless. They've got firepower advantage, and in general, Copenhagen Flames just struggling to deal with him here. Out towards this short control. Finally, Ziffon's going to get a frag back. Nice nade on to do out some damage. Dreamer only gets 1 kill for it. Red Star and Han are quick on rotates, though. They've caught a couple more picks, and they'll find another frag. All on Yabi. 1 versus 3. Try to get the bomb down. Maybe get an exit frag. Probably not win this round, though. Flashbang turned away from all 3 CTs are here. And yeah, just not hitting his shots.
And the first difference I'm just seeing in the games in the playoffs between Han and Nico Odos is I feel like Han has that X factor, that moment where he can just pop off. You have a look at his performance coming into today in the playoffs. He's had 149 kills to 89 deaths, an average of a 1.41 rating with positive 60 on the KD difference. And that's not even including the stats that we're seeing from him at 13-3 here on Inferno.
Fiend into round 12. Utility set up here for the nade stack out towards Bernardo. I guess they're expecting that Copenhagen Flames want to go to this side of the map. And we've got Red Star as a solo defender. Bubble, go ahead and join him eventually. Copenhagen Flames got to deal with the aggressor of Han, who might be their first main point of contention. There's a player already in the bedroom of Yabi who could find a flank against him, making a fair amount of noise. Will Han turn around? He won't. Thinks that he might be safe in this position, but when does he find the frag instead?
Well, they're starting to make some noise, so that's going to start pulling the attention over, and actually Han aggresses further forward. Red Star at the B play actually falls. Dreamer gets the trade back. He needs more help on A, and Han, he's still moving forward.
Victor gets caught out towards the back of the A site. Dreamer still gets another good frag back, and Yabi will finally dish out the damage to get the site under control. Or is it? The bomb has got to get picked up back at stairs and pushed in, and Han's going to hear this info. Can you do anything with it? Hooksy drops in, peak 250 tap, and the patience works well enough to get it to a 2v2. With bomb dropped to all, Han is isolated from Bubble though. Bubble's going to work hard to get back in from this B site. He sees Ziphon, and they've turned it around. Fiend have no right to win this round, but still they may just do so.
You just can't expect Han to be there. There's no way you even thinking about checking Mexi. And look at the timing on this. They're going to pass one another. Han, does he read the angle? Oh, surely he's got the backstab now onto Yabi.
He's got it. All a case of timing. He looks towards the man. Spray through's easy. 2 kills to his name. What a round from Han. And what a hold it will be. 11-1 up for Fiend. They have dominated their way through map 1.
Can we just have a soundboard of what a round from Han? It just seems like it's what we're saying every time, doesn't it? Another great round from him. Even Dreamer, mate, he was what? Red HP down in that moto position. He still managed 1 pick to try and defend A, to hold it off, and Han just makes an info play forward, ends up with a couple of kills. Fiend to 11.
Copenhagen Flames must be a shock to the system to see this turn out the way that it has done for us and for them. Half by, of course, pistols getting ripped apart by the rifles. Fiend fragging away. Deagle set. Victor catches Yabi. And Hooksy and Nico Odos, last 2 players that remain here. Just a matter of time before they go down. They haven't really got many options.
I'm not going to settle my high horse and say I told you so, because I just did not see this. I looked at this game and thought, with how close the head-to-heads have been over the course of not only the RMR, but of time with these 2 teams, how well they're playing, this is going to be a battle. It's going to be so difficult to read it. My factor for picking Fiend was the revenge, just that are so hungry to get a win over Copenhagen Flames, just knowing that they got eliminated out of the qualification to the major. To be 11-1 up, and now to go 11-2, I mean, no one could have seen this coming. No one could have seen Fiend on their map pick come out of the gate firing like they have on their CT side.
Well, again, the silver lining for Copenhagen Flames is the fact that it is their opponent's map pick. It's a very thin silver lining, though, because it's still 12-1. And for a team that took them down to, what was it, quadra overtime?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something of that particular effect, you know, it should be a closer affair, you know?
You would think so. I will say, Fiend, the way that they're playing is so different than last time. So that is something to keep in mind. It looks as if everything they've done with the anchor holds, with the rotations, the way they're using the utility, this is not the same Fiend I saw 5 days ago.
Almost like a much more capable squad. Confident team that have developed throughout the playoffs. And now we'll look to take away a win against an upsetting elimination team. AK's out, but we're going to lean in. Incendiaries. Try to force the T-side players back, and they will have no choice but to do so.
They're going to retake Banana, and even for Ziphon, he's just trying to keep eyes on the play. Han's expecting a pick up. He sees the player at logs.
I think he's seen him the same, though. Bubble falls back. Han all upset. Now they recognize that there's only one real player holding that B-bomb site. Copenhagen Flames are going to go ahead and rotate towards Banana control. Looking like they want to go for that B commitment. It's only Han to stand alone.
He's going to have a tough time here. He's only got a smoke to put down. Rotations are going to be slow out from the long side. Fiend, they need to get a move back on. And for Copenhagen Flames, this is the right call we're seeing from them.
Re-smokes to utilize here for the Flames. Lurker of Yabby might pull in rotations. No, they're going to go back on towards this B site. So, yeah, this is very curious here for Copenhagen Flames. They'll push forward to the marker. Bubble's going to wait inside that smoke. He's going to realize now, okay, Dreamer's going to wait back here alongside Victor. There's still a two-man crossfire, eventually to be wrapped into the backstab. And then we'll get to the backstab first. Copenhagen Flames taking so long to get to the side. Bubble wins that one fight. Zip on there with a trade. Yabby can trade it. Dreamer responds. Nico Odos comes in out along. Red Star spots him, trades it back to a 2 versus 2. Bomb on site. Needs to get planted. Missed nade. Won't deny it. The AWP. Good one! Lands a collateral. What a perfect bit of timing. And Fiend immediately retake the site.
Oh my goodness, what a TAM play coming out for Hart. He's B-opping his way forward. He's not thinking about slowing this down. No, he wants impact.
My God. The B-hops gave him all the distance in the world. And it works. Just when he thought Copenhagen Flames might just recover a 2-on-2 retake, no. Took too long to get to the site. The AWP is just too good. You mentioned how Harden's so flashy. That was proof in the pudding right there.
He's 18-3, and he's taking so many duels. Every round he's looking for a pick. Dream is aggressing. That's the bomb being dropped. He can even follow up onto Nico Erdos. Oh, he makes it a double.
Victor does damage to the two more players. Hooksy can get a couple of responses. Harden got to get out of dodge. He misses the AWP shot. Incendiary back shot on connects it. Yabby, an own entity. And Nade coming in closely, backs up. It's going to be Red Star to steal away the kill. And yeah, Copenhagen Flames ripped apart for round 15. It's going to be 14-1 the Fiend on their own map pick. This has not gone to plan in any way, shape or form for Copenhagen Flames. And at this point, I think they might have to go to their second map and just mentally reset and figure out their game plan from there.
I think you're right. Harden has just been all over them, and it's not just him. Everyone has stepped up from the Fiend side. Xiphon isn't able to find anything onto Bubble. 14-1 in a grand final of a 100 grand event, Jay. I mean, come on. What is happening?
Yeah, Copenhagen Flames is just unacceptable. No excuses for this. Now, imagine our halftime hero is going to be Harden, right? Like, surely it must be. Yep, yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Unbelievably flashy, unbelievably good, going head and shoulders above the rest. 19 frags. And they have got Dreamer at least, who's doing a little bit of close affairs in that respect, but yeah, this is Fiend just absolutely dominating their way through this game. And they probably dominate through the rest of the T side, right?
You would think so. And just the skill that he's got, the risk factor that he doesn't mind making those ballsy plays, and even just a rush coming through from the top of Banana. Xiphon does get away with a couple of kills, and Nico Erdos is chiming in. We might see another round coming in for Copenhagen Flames. They end the streak of quite a while.
Finally, some confidence for Copenhagen Flames. It's taken a long time. They shut down the rush with two very quick kills from Xiphon. Watch it again, 1-2. Scooby-Doo, Nico Odo, similar story with a triple instead. Actually, Hooks stole that last frag away. But there you go, a round that goes well for Copenhagen Flames, and no real major casualties taken. One trade was found by Fiend. That's the Copenhagen Flames we should have been seeing for the longest time.
And it's probably a Copenhagen Flames we won't see for very long, because with Fiend up to 14, they're just ecoing this. Victor getting that first pick, he's made it too! This is an eco, we're not seeing any Kevlar!
Oh no. Oh, why did I say anything? Why did I say anything at all? Hooksy has caught Red Star, releases back to a 4-on-3, but it's a 4-on-3 for Fiend. They've got M4s. Nico Odos catches hard, gets Dreamer as well. Victor responds to a 2-on-2. Xiphon creeping close here. SMG outburst, fire, gets caught by Bubble next. It's all on Hooksy. A 1-on-2. Naded out, bursted upon. They know they've done their damage. The bomb will go down. Fiends just need one more pick to get up to 15. Victor knows it. He's going to hold to the gun barrel. Find his frag. Quadra out for him. And Fiend find the eco steal.
What a joke. Honestly, that's what, a few P250s and a Deagle. No util, no Kevlar. And why are they eco-hunting? Why are they getting aggressive in bedroom? They know there wasn't a bomb plant, so they can't expect a force buy. It's unnecessary picks coming in. And Fiend, this is an outclassing that I have not seen the entire playoffs. Even when Gambit were able to roll Harvu, it's not even in the same boat as this. We're talking about Copenhagen Flames here.
I feel like they might have put all of their resources, all of their energy into beating Gambit and left nothing for the grand finals here. All these players not showing up. Nico Odo's the only player on double digits, and that's only 10 frags. Oh, boy. 15-2, 13 map points. And this is probably going to have to be the end of map 1 here. I don't know. Let's just see what they can do.
Yeah, Han even entering out onto Hooksy, getting that brackets control, peeking through again. He's adding more, 21 kills and 5 deaths. Victor's waiting for the over-aggression, and now 1 player's left. Nico Erdos to win a 1v5, with there's hardly any damage even being done. Fiend, this has been such a performance from them. Everyone has showed up individually. They've looked on point. They've come in with a game plan, and they have delivered to perfection. Copenhagen Flames have just been slaughtered on this first map of Inferno, and it excites me moving forward for the rest of the series for Fiend, because my goodness, individually, they're up there with the best in the world.
My God, I'm so disappointed in Copenhagen Flames on the back of that map. Yes, it was their opponent's map, but they didn't even get to their 3rd round. Lockout decimation. If that's a sign of things to come, it's time to be concerned for the Copenhagen Flames. At least they have their home territory in our 2nd pick of Nuke. They were able to get this against Fiend previously. But if they show anything like that in that last map, that will not end up being the case. It's back to the desk. Good luck breaking down that one, boys.
Well, that was a quick map.
That was a quick map, yeah. I mean, we just left off the pre-match segment with overtimes, triple over, quadra overtimes the last time these two teams met, but now it's more of a speed run.
Yeah, I mean, we were just snacking over there.
Wait a minute, wait.
Time.
Yeah, these are the finals still.
Yeah.
It's just confusing at the moment that...
Well, things happen. Vengeance, I guess, name of the game. Fiend coming in hot, and they have something between their teeth, as we say in Finnish.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as Drake said, good luck breaking that down. That's always the case with these really, really one-sided matches. Just everything going the way of Fiend, and the longer the game went on, the more the confidence really shown, or like was shining through, especially from players like Harn. No matter the situation, you could really see that he was feeling himself, just bunny hopping all over the place, hitting some collaterals, and especially after that collateral, you just see from his movement that he's feeling the game and he can't put a step wrong.
Yeah, felt like, if I'm going to add to that, like, I think the second round or second half was kind of like the whole picture of this game. Victor getting the 2 kills in second middle with the P250. Copenhagen Flames going for the push, kind of trying to build some confidence by trying to frag out. Gets fragged out instead in the face. And then, that was game over at that point in time.
Yeah, we do have a round to digest here, which is the round number 12. And, well, you know a little bit more about this, so take it away.
Yeah, let's break it down. My notes say Nightmare Blunder Fiesta.
Oh, my God.
But this is where Copenhagen Flames, things just really go out of their hand. Like, what is the purpose of this round? They're just pushing 2 onto the each side. Where's the bomb? Look. It's at T-ramp, so no matter if they get the openings here, it enables this really weird push to come through from Fiend's Harn, who is pushed underpass. He's going to end up getting a bomb delivery. Hello.
Oh, no.
There we go. And like after that, it's round over. Even if it's a 2v2, it's really decided such a hard position from Copenhagen Flames to for them to win. And I really started questioning the decision making of Copenhagen Flames the longer that T side went on.
Yeah, at that point in time, they were down 10-1. I think desperation had already hit, so they went for a frag out strat. Both sides put a bit of pressure, try to get some kills. And yeah, probably frustration just kicking in, to be honest. And it didn't work out whatsoever.
Yeah, and to kick them while they're down, we do have a round number 14 to digest here too, and it's a short one.
It's a short one, but it's a beauty. We're going to see some bunny hops out of Harn 2v2. Is this the round for Copenhagen
There it
Flames?
Oh, never mind.
Never mind, yeah. And the lineup too. Just a perfect shot, perfect situation for Harn.
Yep. And I do
buy
want
one,
to,
get one free.
yeah, and I do want to add here that we kind of tried to paint a world where this is going to be one of the most hardest game, and it's not your guys' fault. Copenhagen Flames just pretty much demolished Gambit. How does it end up like this?
Well, I mean, I have one theory, but it's just a theory.
Okay.
They did have a hard-fought game. Both maps were very close against Gambit just before. I mean, there was a bit over an hour of a break. That could be a thing. While the Fiend could wait for this game for the better part of 3-4 hours. It can kind of work both ways for both teams. For Fiend, when they have such a long break, it might be a hindrance for them, but it seems like they're very, very fired up. And this is all just obviously speculation, but it could be a case of them just kind of, or Copenhagen Flames to be kind of worn out from the earlier game, but.
Yeah,
it's because they're not looking like their normal stuff.
Yeah,
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a lackluster, and we have to bring out a player of the match. To be honest, it's Harn. He was just doing so well.
Yes, that's that second clip there. Delivered already. He had a lot of impact. Here we see him just go through the smoke, get a lot of kills, brings out the AWP, holds down the fourth in the B bomb site. This is where he gets that home delivery. And then bunny hopping ensued in middle as well. When they were pushing, I think it was the last round of the city. It was just a lot of insanity he was able to capitalize on.
Yeah, opping, rifling too. There was one round in the start of the half where he had an opportunity to pick up an op from the ground, but he opted
opportunity.
But he opted to go for a rifle instead. I think he picked up the AK. So I'd be curious to know what was the decision making there, and maybe we'll get to hear more after that. If Fiend is going to end up winning the game, we could ask perhaps the players what was the method to the madness there.
All right, and as we are wrapping up this map, well, I think it's good to talk about the future. And to those futures, we could actually bring up that how does Copenhagen Flames go forward for here? Of course, it's a Fiend's map. Maybe not that big of a deal. Nuke is still up.
I mean, at this point, I would ask, this is an analysis where I'm going to kick myself a little bit because the words that are going to come out of my mouth. But in the first map, it really felt like Fiend wanted it more.
Okay.
It seems like that's really showing off here with Copenhagen Flames. Are they complacent? They have the major spots. I mean, if we don't win this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. While Fiend is like really, really fighting for that win.
All right. Anything to add? Okay, I think we're done here. We are going to kick it to the breaks for a little while. After that, we're going to be straight away here, and we will talk about the next map, which is Nuke.
Red Bull Flick Invitation comes to Helsinki in November. Amateurs challenges the top names in Counter-Strike like Alexi B and Valky, Dota and Diha, Nico and Hunter. Come and witness live the race for €50,000. Get your tickets now at redbull.fi/Flick.
As Inferno has been tagged and canned, it's Fiend finding themselves victorious on that map, 16-2, and it's time to take a little bit of a, vacation towards Nuke, I guess, if you want to call that a vacation, the most hazardous map on the pool, maybe? I don't know where I was going with that.
Not my first choice in holiday destinations, but
Take it away.
Nuke is the pick for Flames, and it hasn't been the most fortunate map for Fiend. In the back of their heads, they may remember a certain 13-2 lead against was it Dignitas, which they managed to blow away, losing that one in the end. But then they did play big on Nuke earlier in this tournament. They beat them 16-7, so that looked a lot better.
Yeah, that was a peculiar one. I remember just Dreamer going off with 140 ADR or whatever he was set on after that Nuke matchup. So that gives me some confidence that maybe Fiend has found some form. And even though Copenhagen Flames is rocking a 7-win streak, I just can't put Inferno quite away from my mind. That just creeps up, and you got to question that what kind of Copenhagen Flames are we going to see on their map pick?
Yeah. To be honest, I actually had a question. What kind of a Fiend are we going to see on Nuke? Because they were just coming off a roll, and of course, when you hit shots like that, it can be some kind of interpreted to another maps, maybe too. Can it?
I mean, the silver lining for Fiend on Nuke is the fact they get to start a CT. As I mentioned, the Dignitas game, they had a 13-2 CT half. On that one, they had a 12-3 CT half against Big. So their CT is definitely not the problem. The problems they've had has been on the T side. So if they get a massive lead, and considering what happened in map number 1, that might be game over already if you hit a 12-3 or a 13-2 half on the board as halftime comes in.
Okay, so less T sides are pretty much what we're asking for.
Well, no, I mean we're asking for Fiend. They will if they lose rounds on the CT side, then we're going to have to see them manage some T sides on the board, because that has been an issue for them previously. The CT side seems okay from a numbers standpoint.
Yeah, and as we have seen Copenhagen Flames play Nuke before, it's kind of weird, or not weird to be honest. It's kind of cool to see that they have 70% straight on the left side of the board. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, 70% and even 7 map wins in a row here on Nuke. So those are some good numbers. But talking about good numbers, we're going to need to see them out of the players too. I mean, the best performing player from the first map, Nikodos, with 11 kills. Nobody's just got on the server, and Yabbi, we talked about him a lot before this matchup. Really didn't find his entries that we've been accustomed to see from him a lot in this tournament. Roy, with one good entry kill, that was actually the round that they ended up winning, but one is not enough there. They're going to need a lot more from pretty much all the players here.
Yeah, and as we enjoyed highlighting Jappy as a player, like, oh, he was doing amazing here, he was doing perfect here, but on Inferno he only had 6 kills and 17. That's really not good. He has to step it up on Nuke.
Yeah, it's not only on him also. We have to remember that he does have a role sometimes on Inferno, especially where he's on the opposite side of the map. If his teammates are not getting anything done, let's say on the B side, then he's going to have a hard time lurking anywhere around the A-bomb side. So it's not only up to him, it's for the whole team to start elevating their gameplay, which is going to help Yabbi also play a little bit better.
Okay, my last question is, because I asked it from Flames' side, who needs to pretty much step it up, and Yabbi is one of those players. From Fiend, which are the players that have to go mental for Nuke to have a chance?
I don't think that anyone has to go mental. They just need to play up to their standard. Like, I think the standard for Dreamer right now is very, very high. He's been doing super good. If Victor can continue his form from earlier today, and then Horn, he was the man of the hour at plus 16, 21 and 5 in that first map. Nuke, a map where an AWP can definitely create chaos. If those guys continue on the trend that they've had throughout this tournament so far, I'm feeling comfortable, that there's a possibility for a 2-0 here.
Yeah, this is where Copenhagen Flames are tested. We talk about their good mentality, but after 16-2 beating on Inferno, this is where the real test again begins.
Okay, and as we are going to head out into Nuke, I think it's a good time to actually check out, can Copenhagen Flames bring it to an even, or will this be a 2-0 for Fiend? Our casters, take it away. Have a good time with this one.
Well, hopefully we'll have a better time than Copenhagen Flames at this stage. I'm not 100% certain. I'm not 100% sold now on the idea that they'll be able to get this series. Dweg, I don't know what to say after that map. They just got to mentally reset. They've got to throw that map away, look towards map 2 and get your pick on the board. And they've got to show us something new. That last map was atrocious from them.
Yeah, and something we were talking about, I think it might have been off broadcast too, with the Lyngby game, is I hope Lyngby don't punish Pick Nuke. Because when we have a look at how Fiend have been playing recently, while they've had a lot of losses, their return from the great CT side to poor T side against Dignitas and the way that they performed against Big, Fiend are definitely not going to pick Nuke, but it's getting better for them. And knowing the way they played on map 1, I could look at this as a 2-0 for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I look at this and I feel like the Fiends, they won't have like I don't think they're going to have another 13-2 to 16-13. They're not going to lose out in that respect, because I look at that and I think that's more of a red herring, a bit of an outlier result, as opposed to a genuine sort of, example of what Fiend's nuke is kind of like. And I feel like, it might go into a bit of a poor T side, but I think that if Fiend are going to get this CT half started, which they will, and they get it started on the right sort of foot, then they'll be fine. They could have this series in 2-0 fashion, and it would be such a such a bad taste in my mouth to leave that out as the grand final series. This is a 2-0, simple enough for Fiend. The onus is on Copenhagen Flames. It's them, the guys that need to step up to the table and do something new here.
And even for Fiend, do you ever look back at that RMR game that we saw on both Inferno and on Nuke? It was actually Bubble doing a lot of the fragging. Han didn't perform that well in that RMR game. Dreamer wasn't fantastic. So knowing the difference between then and today, things look good for Fiend.
That they do, and they could be on to take the ELISA Invitational. They're up by a map in this series. Copenhagen Flames have got to get things going. It's their T-side to start things off on their map pick of Nuke.
You'd have to imagine confidence at an all-time high. And for Fiend, this is the exact same strat they ran on their CT pistol, where they just didn't get any utility or any kit. It's just Kevlar for everybody.
Han set with his USP first and foremost out towards that squeaky door position. Ziffon's going to be seen top of Mini. Red Star's going to challenge him. Take similar damage between both of those players. It's Roy that gets the opening kill out of Squeaky. Ziffon does catch Red Star in the end. Bubble struggles to find Roy. It's Victor that gets that frag instead. Yabby on site, catches Bubble on the reload. Victor lining up a couple of decent kills. Dreamer gets kill involved here. Victor can double up, triple up overall. Nico Odos trades back his teammate to a 1 versus 1. He knows exactly where his target lies. The bomb in the open can't take that shot. The figure's decent enough. And eventually he finds his kill to get Copenhagen Flames in with a pistol.
Well, it was a decent start in there for Copenhagen Flames. They were able to get those couple of opening kills running out from Squeak Door. Beautiful entry in from Roy. Even Ziffon dealing with that lurk outside of Red Star. Victor made that round possible. He's able to get a lot of picks, baiting with the crossfires of Dreamer and of Bubble. Just not quite being able to get that 1v1. And for Nico Odos, that is going to feel like an awesome opportunity, knowing the slamming performance they got on map 1 to now start on Nuke with a pistol round victory.
Nade set. Bubble trying to do early damage towards the outside control. Copenhagen Flames, of course, with the better weapons. The CZ here for Han can still catch players off guard. He does a ton of damage to the second man as well. That's a pretty good start.
Roy's been doing a lot of decent work with the CZ over the course of these playoffs, and Han's able to do some return onto him. Ziffon being felled, the veteran guy down to 9 points of health. And knowing that that's probably one of the worst weapons they've got in this entire round, that's already a very good start. And even if Dreamer can get set up with this M4, he could be on for further damage.
Victor with the deagle. Waits here. Ready to receive. He's just sat back as Hooksy moves on with the MAC-10. Bubble. SMG against him. Fights, but doesn't quite find the frag. Eventually does do so. Nico Odos there with a responsive. Dreamer still in the back of the site. Bails out his teammate. Gets Yabby. A 3-on-2 scenario. Nico Odos falls to the SMG. And Fiend about to strike back against Copenhagen Flames with their force by round going swimmingly.
Well, we've seen that before from Fiend, haven't we? Great round, Good response. Didn't even feel like it was a challenge for them. And for anyone at home that maybe didn't watch that quarterfinal game between Fiend and Big, do you want to give them a quick wrap-up of what Dreamer was like here on Nuke?
Godlike.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. He dropped, what, 30 and 9? Something like that? And already we're seeing him get impact. And it makes sense that in that kind of round, he's the one to get the rifle, because that's who you want the rifle in the hands of.
And straight in, this M4 buy up, of course, for Fiend. Still seeing on 3 other players as well. The AK for Han, the Galil for Red Star, saved in from the previous round. Galil will be a bit of a bonus weapon, but it could still be effective here. There's not a lot to work with for Copenhagen Flames. Deagle's on a force buy.
Now, even hard putting that incendiary forward. opening up the angle to be slightly wider to that left-hand side. For Copenhagen Flames, they have to win this. They're on force buy territory, double eco status, looking for a ramp play could be the option.
Spray throw of Hans. Ifon gets his responsive. It's a 4-on-4 scenario, and the teams will make their way downstairs into that B site. At least initially, that's what it seems like. Quick responses are here from Bubble. He's low HP, though. Really needs some support from his teammates. He's going to be standing alone. Copenhagen Flames apply the brakes.
Yeah, this actually might be the right read, though. Rather than just over-rotating more mass players down to that lower bomb side, Victor's keeping his eyes on this heaven wrap. They've got the idea that it could still be a play to upper.
I still set. Victor's waiting. Top of the heart. Red Star moves in with the Galil. Finally catches vision, but struggles to deal with Yabi. That AK picked up and applied to the headshot. 3-on-3 now as the T-side weapons now in T-side hands. Nico Odo trying to split in with his teammates. They know that they're out there towards the heaven control. Eventually they find the spray on the two individuals. Victor drops that first man. Nico Odos can find the trade, but both his players are falling in mini now. It's all left to Nico Odos. 3 kills to find overall, and Bubble will find the closing frag. Teammates of Fiend, 2-1 to the board.
Actually, I'd like to apologise for my mistake of 30-9. He was actually 33 kills and 11 deaths, Jay. 141 ADR against Big. And already, we're starting to see him putting on a good show. Fiend, there was just info plays everywhere there, wasn't it? We saw Bubble starting to move up to Rab, Red Star going outside to Secret, and from there, they're just able to set players up. Even notice in that 2v1, Dreamer opens the door at Squeaky and closes it instantly, just as Bubble gets to heaven, and it's small plays like that, small details that just show what Fiend are capable of.
Eco basis, spray through, 2 kills with Bubble, makes it 3. And 4, Hooksy. Last man left, Victor. Catches his frag, and it's 4 frags Bubble overall in that particular round. Eco cleaned up pretty nicely. Rifles can come back for Copenhagen Flames. 3-1 to the board. Fiend are looking pretty fantastic. And the guns can come through.
Just outside, they got chipped in by a great HE to start off from Bubble, and they pretty much just all try and swing together. There's not much investment there, so easy pickings come through, and Red Star going to be getting the chance of AWPing. Noticed as well that on Inferno, he didn't do sort of any double AWPing, which is something that they've obviously changed, because the last times I've seen Fiend on Inferno, we see a lot of double AWPing from Red Star.
Rocking the singles for now. I'll be seeing a bit more with Hans still stuck on the SMG. Just play this as a bonus weapon, then buy back into the AWP in the next round. Perhaps that's his particular strategy, bolster up the economy state. So you can afford many AWPs. Unfortunately, only gets away with the death against his name. It's Red Star that gets that trade, fortunate enough, so the AWP can have impact with the AWP involved, but it's a 4v4 scenario.
Yeah, Bubble not seeing any lurk outside to that garage position. T's trying to split their way down to the lower bomb side. At the moment for the CTs, they are quite in and out of position. For Yabi, he's going to watch these lobby players come in.
AK looks for Victor. Frag on him. Dreamer gets caught next up. 2 players standing for the Fiend side, and Copenhagen Flames find a bit more confidence now. It's probably going to have to be a safe call for Red Star and Bubble. It's best to hold on to that AWP and that M4 to get double AWPs back out in the next round if they so desire, and get the full set of guns and util as well.
And that always helps when you're playing Nuke and you're heading lower with a lot of map controllers. You can just lurk in lobby or in and around that position. Yabi was playing a crazy off angle in ramp to look back in that lobby position, just as Fiend start getting into retaking positions, and a couple of kills come in into Victor and to Dreamer, so pretty much calls the round to just back off and save. Copenhagen Flames, a much better round from them, and it all really started with that first kill out to ramp, and Red Star gave them quite a lot of respect. He went quite passive into that held position, so never really kept pressure on.
One more exit frag goes the way of Bubble, so they can continue to keep her up on the Copenhagen Flames. Second on their board, however, for the Danes. It's a round that they kind of need to win. They've already kept pace with their previous scoreline in the last map, so it's kind of encouraging thus far. See if they can keep it going and get the lead back against the Fiend side. Of course, they're going to equalize here in this round. The double AWPs will come in from Fiend. Talked a bit about that for Red Star. Han's got it all.
Yeah, I'll go back out to that ramp position, perhaps for Han, or they can start moving between one another, try and go in for a main pick. Look into that squeak door area is also an opportunity. Copenhagen Flames going to receive some of these nades outside. Han going very aggressive.
Gets the kill for it, can't land that second, tries to do so. Bubble set here with the M4 out to the edge of the smoke, gets 1 and 2, can't quite make it a triple. Zifon in a trade back and respond to the CT setup, but a 4-on-2 scenario overall favors Fiend. And Yabby and Ziff are going to work real hard to get themselves back out of dodge here. Yabby is making his way ahead of Vent. The CTs might have plans for him.
It looked as if Nico Erdos checked outside. Did he not check it all the way? It seemed like he read the position onto Bubble and then kind of overlooked it, and it allows Bubble to get away with a couple of kills. Hard to stay alive. They still don't know about that Mustang player. Even the AWP of one of them of Red Stars on rotating heaven.
Yabby just leaning. Doesn't see the CT player up in the rafters. He has seen the Achilles heel of Victor. Still doesn't see him, and that's going to cost him. How great that could have been for him to get at least 2 picks, but unfortunately not to be. The AWP of Han ready to deal with Ziffon, and Fiend find 4.
That's something we were talking a lot on Inferno about Han, is that X factor, right? And have a look at this round as a prime example. They're 3-2 up. They got punished in the last round. He's flying out to the back of T-Red. And yeah, it didn't Nico Erdos like check that position, just not overlook it completely. And then even that, you see that Yabby is able to spot the information of Victor playing default on the site on floor. Still can't deal with Dreamer, so he doesn't even get 1 pick in that scenario.
The Eagles and Glocks. Copenhagen Flames down to Eco again. We're just getting a repeat of the previous rounds. Repeating ourselves quite a lot over the course of this matchup. That's great for Fiend because they can continue to hold their own. Copenhagen Flames try work indoors here, spamming through the walls and through the doorways. And so far, catch nothing.
Another thing to think about too, with that last best of 3 we had in the RMR, not only is the veto the same for the map picks, even map 3 is exactly the same of Overpass, which we didn't get to last time. I don't even know if we'll get there this time. Copenhagen Flames on the eco, just hoping for damage and looking to rush out at ramp.
Shot missed, M4 connects 2 instead, makes it a triple and a quadra. Do lose Hans, that all better get picked up by the likes of Bubble. Red Stars are going to adjust towards the man, Ziffon. The Eagle hearing the footsteps of the man here. He might catch off an exit frag, so it might be still an AWP dropped here for them. Do go back to grab that bomb. That AWP in the other bubble. Shots missed, eventually just connects towards the man, so now the CT is going to adjust against him. He's got to go down soon, though. They need the money bonus more than anything else.
Yeah, just trapped in, hoping for any more kills, trying to bait a peek forward. Red Star does lose that fight, so the Deagle's actually doing some decent work. Try and see if he can scope him with that AWP. Now he's just thinking to himself, maybe I just save.
A better angle here. Flashbangs and incendiaries keep him at bay for 15 seconds. As long as Fiend high, they know that they're going to win the round out. They're going to crossfire the only entry he can make his way in from. And yeah, he knows now the best call is to save the weapon, get rid of it as well, ensure the CTs can't get it back. When he can throw it over the railing, opts against that in the end. It's like, actually now, I'll just sit pretty back in the spawn. Protect that AWP from the CT side at the range. Done enough there to keep it out of play for Fiend. So damage has been done, at least. That's credit where it's due. But not around for the Flames, and arguably the economical deficit coming in from that save may hurt them even more so.
And normally when we have the conversation of tier 2 teams with fragging in-game leaders, I think Ships is the one that always comes to mind first, the in-game leader of Skate, of how much of an impact player he is. We don't normally ever have Bubble in this conversation, and look at him here on Nuke. 14 kills, 3 deaths, and it just shows for Fiend, I mean, this maybe is overhyping them slightly, but can we categorize them as one of the hardest hitting teams in tier 2 individually? Like when we look at the amount of players on this team that can deliver, Dreamer's consistent, Han is too. We saw Victor really showing up in the Lyngby game. We saw Red Star too. He's performed well on map 1. Now we're even seeing the in-game leader top perform.
I mean, you have a good point to make there. I wouldn't argue against it, honestly. Fiend have fragging potential across all their players, and right now, Bubbles the man that's living up to that potential right here. He's kind of stealing all the kills rather than actually getting all the impactful ones. Fast plays out for Copenhagen Flames. AK in the Victor gets the kill on Yabby. He's going to fall back towards Nico Erdos' Molotov at least, so that's a little bit of damage. There can be return of the kill count. Dreamer's going to hold back in the backline, drop the bomb. Looking at AWP, gets a lot of tag damage off on him. 9 points of health. Bubble can finish him off with an aid. And bomb is in CT possession here. They have vision of it. Roy might still try and gain it as Hooksy works towards outside and catches Bubble.
Oh, Red Star's out in main. They've got no idea. And now Roy's got to try and clutch a 1v2. At least he's got the bomb. He can fake it, try and draw these fights out in the open. Fiend, they're going to be double orbs on the retake.
Bomb should get planted. All a case of timing for Roy. Watching out that heaven control just in case. And they'll hear that plant coming in. They'll both come in from the heaven attack. Roy's got 2 flashbangs. No Molotovs or smokes that can suppress one angle, one entry in the site. Both AWPs as well to take face here for Fiend. Leaning in, footsteps heard. May have caught both of them now. They drop in, see that one individual, and Han just shows no mercy. Kill for him. Team ace again for Fiend, a 6th up to the CT board. The bomb plant bonus might enable Copenhagen Flames for the buy, but again, the concern becomes the rounds that they've won.
I just like the simplicity in that 2v1. They've got 2 flashes and a smoke. You can have, that paint can smoke that they call it, sort of the one-way, or you can put it down to re-smoking Squeak Door out to main or to hut. No, let's just dive into the site. We'll work off one another, work on the peaks, and allow Red Star to get onto the bomb. Han's going to hold it. Jeez, what a shot that is. Such a tight angle onto Roy.
I only needed 5 frags, but he's still finding all the major picks. He's stepping up in a way that several players from Copenhagen Flames are not doing so. Hooksie's only found a single frag. Yabby's only found 4. Roy's only found 3. It's not a poor performance from Hooksie in this matchup because he went very, very low in that previous map as well. The T side leads for Copenhagen Flames. Fiend, however, they have a lead and they're probably going to pound them in a bit more.
Yeah, even just re-smoking down towards that Squeak Door area. Roy with a lurk outside actually gets spotted, so him in the credit card position isn't able to present a frag and get a flash over to re-aggress into this area. And for Copenhagen Flames, they were in a decent position just to split the A bomb site with this outside play.
Red Star just jump facing in from that long control. Outside bubble catches the kill on Roy instead. The M4 that strikes from the locker rooms. Hooksie getting in, Victor. M4 watches, utility comes in to suppress, but Fiend are ready for the execution. Hooksie tagged up, taken down. Burst fire as Victor just drops in for a little bit more. Red Star with his AWP, lands on Xiphon. And Yabby in a 1 versus 5. Han knows that he's there, Nay's back. Seeing the individual, taking his pop shots. Victor looks in for his kill. He can't even get a frag to get in the exit frags. 7-2, Fiends continue to fight their way forward.
Something to kind of keep in mind of, Jay, is the amount of victories from Fiend being 2-0s in this event. They got a 2-0 victory over Lyngby in the main Swiss, 2-0 over Apex, 2-0 over Young Ninjas, 2-0 Big, and 2-0 Lyngby in both the quarters and semi-finals. With all of those victories, we've seen, 5 games be 2-0s and 1 game actually go to 3 maps in all series that they've won in this event.
Copenhagen Flames. Smoke set in against him. Incendiaries down. Victor. Watch out with the AK ahead of the curve. Copenhagen going in for the hit. Roy with his frag onto Victor to start things off. Great kill. Damage being done as Xiphon finds a second pick on towards Bubble. Dreamer can respond towards 1 player and the AK can turn back for Copenhagen Flames. So a bit of positivity here for this round. A 4-on-2. It might be best for Fiend to go in for the save, and I think, yes, with the 2 AWPs in their hands, that's what they're going to do here.
They can look for exit kills at least, do some further damage onto this T side. Great upper execution, just the entries coming out from the pistol players, Roy being able to get a couple. Fiend just try and see if you can lock him in the bomb site, do some further damage, but there's no way this retake's on. Oh.
Eagle looking in. Red Star spotted him, so that's 1 exit frag. Han's leaning into the site as well, hold on. He catches Roy as well. They're going to go for the retake. Red Star's caught. That should shut it down.
Yeah, okay. So they were seeing if frags were being presented. They know that they've got such a strong economy yourself. Okay, we'll get a pick. We'll go for it. Get another one. All right, let's keep going. Even Han to do some further damage. That's a round where Copenhagen Flames, the round is pretty much over. They've got 4 alive. Look at what happens at the end of it. Only 1 survives, and Xiphon isn't even able to recover one of those rifles.
Not going to sting too much because it was kind of an eco half-buy. There were upgrade pistols and Kevlar, but nothing that will majorly deficit the economy. So we should be seeing a buyback from the Copenhagen Flames. Might see some limits in the utility state. But again, I don't think they're going to be sweating it too hard. They might be sweating it a little bit. 7-3, Fiend still in the lead. And they have the double off set up out for Han and Red Star, effective as it's been so far. Let's keep it going with incendiaries down, nades on position. T-side players walking their way up and into the defaults and lobby. Roy, clean up first out of the site. Can't catch anything as of right now.
Yeah, he's hoping to catch a timing. Just Victor repositioning, getting back down to that default position, which might actually happen. Victor's got to keep eyes on if he crosses back over.
And he does, but Roy still wins the fight. Instant headshot. Start gain. Hooksy follows suit outside. He finds Han. The AWP will try look for him. Hooksy's dived down in towards Secret, though, and he's going to go all the way towards that B site bubble. Caught off with a spray. 2K for Hooksy.
Yeah, it's a great round from Hooksy. And even Dream is just going to get walked on by those squeaky door players. Needs to adjust over. Doesn't happen in time. Red Star's got to hold on to the AWP. And Copenhagen Flames, finally, we're starting to see some success from them on T-side.
And Kellon from Red Star at least gets some exits. Second frag, maybe 2, maybe 3. Nope. Yabby secures that final pick and holds on to an AWP for the T-side into the next round. Copenhagen Flames now within 3 still. Fiend still ahead of the game, and they probably should have a buyback as well. The economy looked all right. Might be a little bit lopsided. Pretty decent round for the Flames, and finally Hooksy has some showing of decency here.
Yeah. He was great against Gambit. He was calling a good game. Individually, was showing up in both maps of Ancient and Mirage. Had a difficult time there on the first map of Inferno. And this time around in the grand final. And hey, he's able to get a good pick onto the AWPer, even get another frag down to that lower bomb site, over-rotate some of the CTs. And this is 2 rounds in a row for Copenhagen Flames. Fiend taking their tactical, realizing, guys, this isn't good enough. And I actually wouldn't mind them just going back to a 1 AWP setup, or maybe just having M4s out for everybody, because while the AWPs have been finding impact here or there, it's just the cost of buying up those AWPs and not quite getting the fullest out of them.
Nade set. Again towards the outside, trying to drive that one player out of position. Player on silo is going to look out towards the outside. Bubbles indoors as the rest of the CT forces. Copenhagen Flames again playing the inside lobby default. Happy just to sit here. Fiend just going to wait.
I've got to imagine there's going to be some playmakers from Fiend in round 12. You got a lucky util. So there's going to be some info plays, some aggressive moves coming out from them. Try and see if they can bait in a certain setup or over-rotate if they feel as if they've got an information play to that lower bomb side. So far for Copenhagen Flames, haven't seen the outside smokes. And it does mean that someone from Fiend could lurk outside and try and get a backstab in.
M4 has his eyes set. Still looking down on towards that squeaky door. Dreamer watching. Entrance towards the hut control. Ziffon's waiting. Incendiaries will try and suppress, and they're just going to wait and wait. Copenhagen Flames on the 35-second mark are going to go for the execution. Deagle spamming for Dreamer, burning very, very low, will end up falling. Bubble gets 2 kills, Victor gets 1. So all in all, it's a 3-for-1 on the responses. The AK still holding as the M4 of Victor could fall into the hands of Nico Odos. They'll start rotating back towards ramp. Han might hear these footsteps here, making quite a fair amount of noise. The B site's completely open, though.
Rotate heavy can come through. Out to single door can also be the play. The bomb going to go down. Red Star can't deny.
AK leans in, Red Star finds the frag, Orpin for Nico Odos, gets the shot on. 2 kills to his name, needs a full-on ace to give Copenhagen Flames their 5th round. A 5th round which they need very heavily at this stage. Shoulder bait out for Han, Flick lands to the leg shot, and now they know where he is. They can sit the defuse over at Toxic. Nothing Nico Odos can do to deny this. He's got to get straight into the site, the defuse kit's on him. And it will be 8 for Fiend.
Very composed from Fiend. They just know, even for Han, jiggle out the AWPer and then just try and bait him. Just jump over. Because as long as you're pulling the attention for the AWPer, you can just get somebody on that bomb. And Bubble, what a great hold from him again. He's having such a performance on this CT side.
And once again, just stepping up to the table. It's funny as well, we highlighted Dreamer in his performance on the last nuke.
Yeah.
Bubble's the man that lives up to the tally, and it's funny as well because it's like various individuals have stepped up, or various duos have stepped up over the course of this team's run here. Yesterday, it was all about Dreamer and Han. Earlier in the semifinals, it was Red Star and Victor. Now Bubble's taking up the mantle here on this map. I'm loving the way this Fiend side are playing, and as you mentioned before, they may well have a good shout at being the hardest hitting team in all of Tier 2.
Well, that's the thing, is because some teams you always have one player or maybe two that you rely on to get impact and to put on numbers. Anyone can deliver, and we've known that for a while. Maybe not to this sort of level. This recent form has really come with hard work and results, and for Copenhagen Flames, 4 rounds on the T side just isn't enough. Harmer's thinking about making an aggressive play, and as soon as that molly goes down, he goes, you know what, I'm going to cancel. I'm not going to do that.
Not bothered with it at all. Burst fire past that smoke. The nades continue to rain down upon the Copenhagen Flames side. Dishing out some damage. Yabby, okay. Exploding straight into the round. Getting 2 simple headshots on Victor and Bubble, a 5 versus 3. But he only just dives down the vents. Does not go into the B site.
Damn, that was nutty to come out. And even for Copenhagen Flames, this is the round pretty much done. They have already got a couple of kills down to that lower bomb site. So, okay, we'll just get those outside smokes. We'll make our way into Secret. And for Fiend, they better off save. There's really nothing they can find in this one.
Try and make their way in towards that ramp position, but they're not going to be able to deny the bomb plant, really. Nico Odos already has that AWP set to the right-hand doorway. Utility on, the smoke down, the Molotov's in. Yeah, Fiend are not going to have access. They fall back. They wait. A plant should be secured here at Toxic. And there's nothing Fiend can do. The best call is the safe call.
Yeah, I had a look in the break as well, Jay, about some of Yabby's stats. In 2020, he played quite a fair bit with Copenhagen Flames and his team before that of Singularity. He put up an average 0.95 rating the entire year. And I remember when he joined Copenhagen Flames, he didn't feel like a comfortable player. It was going to take some time, take some molding. And it feels as if when Asilian came to the team, he started to really come alive. Now that Hooksy's joined the team, you have a look at his numbers in the last 3 months, and it's night and day. It's something completely different than what we saw from him when he joined the first 9, even 12 months of this team.
Copenhagen Flames side have the 5th round to their board.
Jeez, what a sequence.
Yeah, nicely done from Yabby. Really the difference maker in that round. Again, highlighting him for good reason. He's still not quite as flashy as he has been in previous games, but still top fragging for the Flames. And right now they need a player to step up and try and match what guys like Bubble are outputting here for Fiend. Utility in, Molotovs and flashes over what seeming like it might be a fast rush in, but they're not going to go ahead and commit to it entirely. Just hold back here and lobby default again.
Just trying to see if they could bait a lot of early anti-rush nades out for the city side. Red Star even taking that duel up to the top of Silo. Hooksy to fall. Red Star not even taking much damage in that duel.
AK of Roy, hearing Victor, knows that he's around this corner somewhere. When does he try to take face? Just bursting, spamming, spraying through, not connecting much in terms of damage. Nobody's out there in that mini position, and there's still Copenhagen Flames side. Just be so careful about their placement. 60 seconds left. Victor gives up the ghost. That's the second time he's gone for that peak and the second time he's lost it.
He's got to try and get back to the site. At least he's pre-aiming it. Roy has played that very consistently. And even for Dreamer, trying to turn away from the flash, he's seeing that they're not running out of heart. It could be an upper fake to try and get them into ramp. Yabby actually overextends from Squeak Door.
We thought they weren't running out of heart. They were running out of Squeaky instead, and they catch him off guard. Kill on Han, going to lean in. Red Star's going to watch the heart entrance, and the player's gone out towards vents to recognize that nobody's come out here. Either going to be a flank play or a B play. And out towards ramp is where Han will drop Nico Odos. T's are going to walk in towards the ramp entrance and try to go towards that B site. Yabby could still catch them off. This for Mars being heard. This is perfect timing for the AK player. The backstab's so perfect for Yabby here. All the way in decom, bomb plant to be secure. Bubble actually going to get caught by Roy instead. So the man advantage tips to favor the Copenhagen Flames main force.
As soon as they lose that lurk outside of Nico Erdos, it's the change of strategy, going down to that lower bomb site rather than looking to split into upper. And for Red Star and Han, this is a very difficult retake to get on.
Roy back at Dark just waits, and no one from Fiend's going to offer up an angle. They're just going to fall back and save. Once again, looks out of the B site, and for round 15, that seems to make a lot of sense here. Fiend may have dominated their way through the early start of the CT side, but now they're losing rifles. Not a lot of lost bonus to fall back on here, so Red Star's got to stay alive. He's turned away at the wrong moment. And that's 3 kills for Yabby, really coming alive in these latest few rounds.
It just feels as though this grand final is starting to heat up. It's starting to get more competitive between the two teams. We saw, was it Fiend having a 7-2 scoreline at one point? Copenhagen Flames really starting to close in that deficit and just reading the game well, making a lot of mid-round calls for Hooksy, depending on what picks come through and what information could be found on their defaults. And for Fiend, just going into round 15, the buy, it's just not there at all. You've got one from us out on Dreamer and pistols for everybody else.
Almost looking like a one-sided affair for Fiend. It's now turned into a bit of a competitive nuke here. The T's springing back to life and may still make it 7 at the turn of the half. Leaning up the AK of Roy. Trying to hunt for Han. Knows that CZ's out there somewhere. The walks in. Doesn't see anything directive on contact. The CT just happy to sit pretty and wait.
Oh, sees ahead, sees information, and Han doesn't even double dip back in. Look for further damage. Red Star can try and put some nades onto that ramp position. He's got to get out of there too.
One back off the back of that contact. The CT players not doing much damage, but at least holding their presence and keeping Copenhagen Flames on their toes. 40 seconds. The execution to come through here. Flash in, T's gonna walk out, Victor ready, Dreamer, smoke back spray on, flying past it, gets Ziff on at least, Eagle to the spam through the Victor's part, Dreamer and Red Star still on a couple of trades at a 3 versus 3, Dreamer picks up the AK to make it 2 now, Orb looks in, Roy gets a trade to respond back again, 18 HP, that bomb's in the center of the site, and then A comes in so close to dish out the damage, 6 points of health for him now. Incendiary out, CZ a hand, pops up the vents, and it might still be the Eco Steal to close out the half at 9-6 up for Fiend.
That's the Dreamer I know and love, playing into that hot position. As soon as he gets that contact, he strafes over to the left-hand side with the FAMAS, wins out that duel. It's just time wasting. The HE placement goes down onto the squeak door players. He re-smokes himself to the right side of default and just wastes time. Allows Han to come back up to those vents position, do further damage. Fiend getting 9 at the half, and Bubble was probably the first time he's ever going to be the MVP at halftime, right?
Oh, he's done well to deserve it. 18 frags. No one's even close to his numbers right now. 126 ADR. Really silly stuff being posted up by him. Fiend have unleashed a bubble. Burst a bubble. Unleashed a beast. 3 rounds in the lead for it here going into their T side line. This is where Copenhagen Flames could theoretically bring this back. USP's out, the Glock's in, the PT-50 for Red Star going to be the raid boss. A bit of an awkward set of smokes, only 1 put up there towards Mini. A big gap at the right as he does go down towards the secret control. But Copenhagen Flames not challenging directly.
A lot of map control to come through here from Bubble, and depending on the noise that gets made onto some of those lobby players, he's got a chance of getting right up to that heaven angle. There is a peek looking to be made from Hooksy outside. Oh...
Heard him. Bubble caught. Hooksy.
It's around 17 without a bomb plan.
CZ's Deagles, PT Tech 9s, I should say, here for Bubble. Roy drops the bomb partner, though, and that might not mean much in terms of the grand scale of this force buy. They do find a pick back to return towards the man. Nico Odo's tagged at 33, Yabby on 71. Sprays through, Hooksy finds another good kill on Han. He's also on 19 HP. A lot of potential Fiend in this round, but Copenhagen Flames are decently picking him apart here. 2v3 as Victor finds the latest trade, and Fiend still down by a man.
This is a decent walkout for Dreamer. He actually might catch them off guard. has to come through from that main position, and Victor's just trying to pull the attention. Jeez, he's actually going to get back over to the bottom.
Yeah, the smoke's bottom with a bit of breathing room. Dreamer catches Nico Odos meanwhile. Sees Yabby's head, takes the shot, misses it twice. Third time to charm against Ziffon apparently. No, Victor gets tag damage and Ziffon and Yabby both get tagged about 67 and 64. Burst fire of the SMG finally forces Yabby off position. Ziffon taking even more damage. Fiend are trying real hard to bring this back, and the bomb gets dropped again. So now Dreamer's got to go directly in for the kills. Running out of time to do so, sees them both. Catches Ziffon, now looking for Yabby! And he gets that headshot as well for a 3K and a force by steal.
Oh, massive round from Dreamer, and he has been the clutch god to come through from Fiend over this entire ELISA playoffs. I think he's had 11 clutches in all this event, leading the charge, and that one right there, they know where he is. They try to peek together. He still manages to isolate those duels, and Fiend, I was kind of questioning the force buy. They make it work.
That's the bottom line. If it works, it works. It gets 10 to the board. Copenhagen Flames will be crippled. All sorts of Molotovs being thrown out there towards Mini. Yabby will get that first kill. Red Star can't trade him. And Hooksy trying to aggress once again back towards that vent control. Ziffon now in towards Dark. Molotovs in the T-side line. Have no idea about this player. Now they will. Mac 10 takes its shot. Red Star wins the fight.
Yeah, the rest of the CTs, they can't really go for this, can they? Might as well just try and see if you can hold on to a couple of those weapons. Even Hooksy coming down. I'm surprised they're throwing themselves at this.
Hooksy leans. Mac 10 turns in towards Bubble instead. Transfers it back towards the likes of Han. Unable to hold on to the picks though. Fiends. Just pick them all apart here. Nico Odos gets a little bit of damage involved, but the force buy for the CT side will not be as successful as Fiends. 11 for the T side line as they extend their lead above Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, more rounds coming up, and you'd have to imagine for Copenhagen Flames, they're not going to bring much into the next, are they? What can they have on the table in round 19? A couple of pistols to back up this scout. Not much at all. Red Star being able to bail out his teammate, because it seemed as if Yabby was going to be a thorn in their side going in for that vent drop.
Didn't quite end up being that way. 11-7. Copenhagen Flames down to the basic pistols here. The P250 being the main thing brought down by Hooksy. And Fiend, fast plays up into the ramp control, have the firepower and the bases to do this. Hooksy sees them all and is like, yeah, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this. Thank you very much. Yabby, head of the double doors, knife at the ready. He wants to try and get Dreamer or Red Star, and does get tagged on towards one of those two players. Victor and Red Star, however, get the pick back against the CT players. Nico Odos and Hooksy do find one frag, but only one frag it seems.
Yeah, not much being found at all. One kill, it's something. And for Fiend, they're setting themselves up for victory row. And again, a good talking point for Fiend is the kill distribution. We saw it in the first map of Inferno. We're seeing it again. Yeah, Bubble was by far and away fragging above everybody else. Look at how quickly everybody else has started stepping up.
And now all players in the same ballpark. Fiend becomes a case that all players are concerned, not just one of them. Copenhagen Flames recognizing this, the M4s are out on this buy-up, a kind of buy that they need to win. Else Fiend can probably use that loss bonus that they'll have to rip down the Copenhagen Flames' potential in this matchup here. Roy gets that first kill. Bubble can find a flanking when the Mac 10 Nico Odos will fall, but he'll also fall back towards Yabby, so the M4 crossfire outside is working.
Yeah, Copenhagen Flames, have to wonder for them how they're going to be able to deal with this lurk. For Dreamer, it all just comes down to a matter of timing. Can't afford to really make any noise at this lower bomb site until some of his teammates can back him up at lower, and Ziffon's going to be the first point of call.
Red Star tagged heavy, Copenhagen Flames. Running away into the round here. Got two pretty easy trades to take. Dreamer might have to be the heavy lifter in this round. .45 seconds, and Fiend will walk right back out of the secret control room. We're going to lead this charge into the site. Roy and Yabby watching outside. Roy gets involved. Yabby with the secondary pick back. That's Red Star standing in a 1v4.
Yeah, Copenhagen Flames dealing with that effectively. It just felt as if the off timing from Fiend, they start coming back up from that secret position, and the outside players are just starting to have some movement. A couple of kills come in from Yabi. Roy does the same. And Red Star, even though the economy looks decent for a couple of players, no point throwing this away. 1v4, he's got the bomb on his back. He's not going to win this round. Copenhagen Flames up to 8th. And for the Danes, it's just all about consistency. Being able to apply more rounds, close in the gap, and not just have one round here, then a couple from Fiend. One round here, because if that happens, Fiend are going to get to 16 quickly.
They need to follow up this one. They need to get a secondary one on the board. Oh, blind sprays from Roy is what came up good with that particular play and set things up overall for the CTs to succeed.
Jeez, another one too.
Wow. Okay. Well, credit where it's due, because it works for Copenhagen Flames, and again, the outside crossfire was working for them. Guns back in for Fiend, though. They are on the rebuy. Copenhagen Flames need to win the follow-up again. The can't stress is important enough. They need to reset Fiend and start to bring up some distance, try and close that gap. Nades on towards him. Han tagged early, but not by much.
Yeah, he's just waiting for a jiggle, waiting for an outside exposure from one of these CT players. The jiggle pick a credit card over on the left-hand side. Deals with Nico Odos. Not quite that second kill. The important trade comes in from Roy.
Yeah, all important right there. Remove that AWP from play. Han has been way too flashy and way too unpredictable here. Flames need to search for Bubble as the top frag and remove him from play, and suddenly you might have a winnable round. A 4-on-4 scenario is still just a 1-for-1 trade.
You have to think as well, if they can get rid of that AWP and make sure there's no way the CTs can get a hold of it, that will also be something to keep in mind. I don't want to make noise outside of dropping any weapons, though. Down to a lower take again, have a teammate in the bomb dive into secret. You'd have to imagine a ramp take's going to come in, and the CTs are actually aggressing ramp.
Victor's trying to catch him off, though. AK versus 2. Dreamer's also right behind him. Crossfire is pretty perfect. If will get 2 kills, though. And Copenhagen Flames, they'll have the advantage now. Bubble quickly into the B site. Will smoke it off, get the bomb down.
Play out the post plant. Red Star's hoping to catch the rotates off down to this vent position. If Yabi goes, he's going to have to be careful.
Red Star, his eyes are set. The CT players will try to make their way in from ramp firstly. Bubble, AK backed up, Molotovs ready to go. As the smoke clears, they'll drive CTs even further away, but Yabi still closing in the backstabs. And Fiend is so focused here on the ramp take. They now look back towards double doors and observation. Flashbang forward, they make their way in from the right doorway. Left-hand side taken by Bubble. He's hearing those footsteps, they're making their way in. Yabi with a great kill. Trade back from Bubble, doubles up as well. Ziphon, diffuse kit, needs to land this frag, and indeed he does. I think he's just got time for this as well, as Copenhagen Flames with a triple kill. No! He's a tick off! It doesn't work! As best an effort they put there, it's 13 for Fiend.
That was so well played from Bubble. He just wasted so much time. The way that him and Red Star know we've got to make a play. We're going to aggress forward out to that ramp position, even with this pick coming through from Ziphon. The 2 kills that he's able to get from that ramp position, and Yabi is able to catch off Red Star. Crate flick. Bubble just has to waste time, be able to get peeked back in. It looks as if the clutch is on for Ziphon. The time's not there, even with the kits.
That's gonna suck, because it was literally a tick. A little bit closer to the bomb and it would have been theirs. And Fiend find unlucky 13. Unlucky for Copenhagen Flames on this occasion. They're in trouble. They're in deep, deep trouble now. 3 to go for the tournament win for Fiend. AK of Red Star looking out towards Secret, expecting someone to pop their head above surface.
It's so patient from Fiend, which I'm loving here. Red Star's keeping eyes. You have to imagine at some point Roy's going to move forward. He can't stay here at T-Red for all this time. And for Han, all the time he might be here for the AWP again.
Or it could be in for Roy. Oh, we've seen that one gap. Scope heard, Red Star's covering it. M4 burst fire, takes the kill, knows the Han's around that corner. Yabi's got an SMG picking the interim, dreaming with one responsive, and Han playing ring and roses around the red box here. Rifle in, flashbang in for Nico Odos. Blinds off Roy more than it blinds off Han. So just like that, the trades can go back towards Fiend. Nico Odos, Deagle on sight, catches Victor, switching to the AK. Dreamer wraps in against him, gets that frag together. It's all on Ziphon now, 1-on-2, coming in from hell, up to heaven, the retake to the A site.
Important trade coming in for Dreamer. And now for him and Han, they'll have to go back and get that bomb. Xiphon, he's got to try and clutch again. He did it in the last round, or at least got close to.
M4 comes up, smoke down. Go down with the vents, making a fair amount of noise, but that's all a bait play. Han with the AWP was ready for Xiphon. He finds his frag to bring 14 in for Fiend. Copenhagen Flames. Economy's wrecked. Do they force now? Do they eco to OT?
Roy had such a great play outside, and you just saw Han. What a flick that is to stay alive. Roy's got the advantage 9 times out of 10 in that fight when it's up close and personal, and I don't want to see a buy here for Copenhagen Flames. Oh, no. They're forced it, Jay. I don't know about this one. This is such a risky buy.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, though. 7 rounds to get to OT, a map point, a match point, and tournament point for Fiend if they can get there. Which would you prefer to do? Grind back on a full buy or try stop it here on a force invest? Well, it's been a poor series overall from Copenhagen. Flames going to come crashing down around them right here and now. Dreamer and Victor get 2 for 1 on the responsive. Roy does find one trade. Hooksy turns the Eagle backing out of the squeaky door. That's only one pick though. Han with a responsive and Hooksy and Nikomodos both on the A site being flanked in by Bubble. Looks to extend his numbers even further. It's Dreamer that gets them both instead. And it is indeed map, match and tournament point for Fiend in the ELISA Invitational.
What a position they've got themselves in. And I'm just looking already at Dreamer of just being like the MVP of the entire tournament. Coming into today, Jay, he'd put on 175 kills, 90 deaths, positive 85 KD differential going into the grand finals. He performed on map 1 and he's performing again on map 2.
Seven rounds of difference, Copenhagen Flames. Smoke off position, Bubble, and walk up with the AK in hand. Roy, the closest player to contact on the outside position. He's sat in mini still. And Xiphon here on ramp. It's going to be the port of call for the defensive. Flashed off, sprayed through, does damage, no kills, needs kills, desperately so. He does find Victor. Dreamer there with a responsive Bubble. Catches Nikomodos out towards Secret. It's a 4-on-3 for Fiend.
Roy's hoping for a pick towards this outside position. Bubble's doing so much damage and pulling time, allowing that distraction. That allows the bomb to go down at lower.
It's all about the retake, though. Double doors may have been heard, may have been opened up. Copenhagen Flames looking for their way out. Hooksy spraying through the SMG, hoping to get a wall bang through the vents and onto the rafters. Open up the second window, trying to catch off Han. Molotovs force the player out of dark. That's Dreamer. Face in. Red Star and Han get those kills. Hooksy, everything to do now. 1v3. Sprayed up by Dreamer. And Red Star gets the final frag of the ELISA Invitational. A 16-8 and a 2-0 series for Fiend. A disappointing Copenhagen Flames concede the championship to Bulgaria.
What a playoff run this has been from Fiend. 2-1 in the Bulgarian derby against Gate. 2-0 Big, 2-0 Lyngby, and now 2-0 over Copenhagen Flames. They worked hard and they earned this. What a run and a well-deserved victory for them to take first place, Jay.
For the first time ever as well, an 8-tier tournament. They struggled all year, shown so much potential, never once winning a trophy. But here in the ELISA Invitational, it's their first, and it's well-deserved.
It's Fiend finding themselves victorious, and guys, what a run.
Absolutely. Like a great final here. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a lot, but the way they closed out all these series, I just checked their playoff run and each of the deciding maps, 16-7, 16-3, something like that. Like they just didn't have any troubles throughout the deciders here.
That was a smashing.
I think they got mad at Tarmar.
Yeah.
Not making the major just triggered them absolutely in the right way. And now they decided to take a bit of a revenge. It must feel good for these guys to, first of all, get the chance to play Copenhagen Flames and have such a convincing victory as well.
Yeah, convincing is the right word here. Like, just giving no chance to Copenhagen Flames. We even saw Bubble fragging out on the CT half a player. We haven't seen these monstrous performances before in this tournament, but it's good to see the in-game leader also chiming in this very, very decisive victory over the Copenhagen Flames. I mean, the 2 maps, they just completely destroyed Copenhagen Flames. A team that they played, quadruple overtimes against 5 days ago. Now, it seems easy peasy.
Yeah, it's just an overrun game. Like I was counting, was it like 10 rounds in total that they had in this series, Copenhagen Flames?
I think you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to be proud about, to be honest.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think for Copenhagen Flames, look, they can still look at the big picture. They have a major to look forward to. They've had an amazing run in the recent times, beating Gambit today. Of course, they're going to be disappointed not to be able to clinch the grand finals here. But hey, sometimes you lose, and you got to move forward. And maybe it's a good thing for them to leave a bit of hunger into the major and not get that 50K first place here.
Exactly. And as it is the winners, we do have an interview, and it's Bubble. Hello, how are you doing, and welcome.
Hello. Thank you. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, after that victory, it was a swipe 2-0, and it even left me at amaze. Bubble, how did your team just wake up in a form like that?
Honestly, everyone was playing really good, but I think usually with Copenhagen we have really tough games. It's always close matches, as you see in the past. But my thoughts are that Gambit took their energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes total sense for sure. Those were really close maps they had. Does it make it extra sweet to beat Copenhagen Flames here in the finals, considering what happened just a few days ago?
Of course, man. Of course, feels good to get the revenge. But wish them good luck on the major. They deserved it.
All right, and to bring things back to the game itself, that Inferno, so decisive, such a great match for you, 16-2. Could you talk us through that Inferno? What went right for you guys?
I just think that everyone went perfectly as a plan. We had as a plan to give them B side because we knew that they're exploding really fast, and we were stacking a lot of grenades for the default because we knew they're crossing from default all the time. So we were mollying and grenading there. Delaying as much as we can, so the smokes are gonna fade from the city, and we can do a fastest retakes on B.
All right, yeah, that really showcased. And then moving on to Nuke, that CT side, I think you were at some point at 16-4 in terms of your stats. How was Nuke for you individually?
Usually, I'm spending a lot of time on preparation, but this time it was totally different. I spent more than 1 hour for individual my game, just warming up. I guess that's the case.
Yeah, really seemed to help. And then to put things into perspective, how big do you think this win is for you guys, taking the first place and that 50K home?
It's huge for us, not gonna lie, because we never won any tournament with this team. So it brings a lot of confidence and new goals for the team.
All right. We are done? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I don't have anything to ask you, but the only thing I can actually say is congratulations, as you are the ELISA Invitational Fall 2021 winner. Guys, that's just amazing.
Can I have one more?
Oh, of course. Ask away.
How are you going to celebrate this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink a beer. Waiting me in the fridge.
hey, have to.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers. Have a good
one.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a fun personality.
Yeah. Good guy for sure. And I really like the fact that he after such a decisive defeat or victory over Copenhagen Flames, and considering what happened a few days ago, still wishing the best for them in the major. That shows character.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's just awesome. And to be honest, talking about him, it's nice to bring him up a little bit too, as we do have a few clips here and there from him. He was doing his job, to be honest, in my opinion, and it's nice to see that Fiend was doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the flashiest player individually. I have been critical of him a little bit here. We've been watching, making some, not so smart moves every now and again. But hey, at least on Nuke here, he had quite a few frags, which is great. 22 and 18, 107 ADR. Those are no bad numbers whatsoever. And as we heard from the man, maybe it is because now he got to focus on his individual play and not the preparation of the game instead. So maybe they need more staff in the team to keep on doing the preparation for Bubble, so Bubble can keep grinding the DM.
All right.
Yeah, true. A great game from Bubble also, and I'm happy to hear that this means a lot to the team, and it probably really does. Like getting that confidence boost. We can win tournaments. We can beat these great teams that they beat all throughout these player brackets. So watch out for Fiend throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, and to be honest, considering these two games towards Nuke, we actually do have some rounds that we should talk about too. Round 11, something crazy happened there.
Yeah, I don't know if crazy is the right adjective. Roy just holding an angle. This is kind of a window to maybe start racking up some T rounds as Copenhagen Flames finally got their game together to make that at least the T side a little bit closer. Basically just it's pretty standard stuff, but yeah, finally they got the ball rolling on the CT side. But the next clip that we're gonna roll on through after this one
burned in my mind.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a look at that like right away because Flames, I think they won the pistol round, but then Dreamers Deagle 1v2. I think this was kind of the nail in the coffin of this game.
Yeah, it got us excited in the green room watching it for sure. I was kind of like I wasn't happy for them to be taking the duels all the time. Dreamer there and his teammate at that red container. Well, what do I know? They ended up winning the round, so I guess it was okay.
Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was one of those rounds that had me pulling my hair a little bit, like Copenhagen Flames maybe don't peak in that situation, but hey, it happens anyways. But I think it's time for us to bring a better positive here, as we have the whole playoffs MVP, which is Dreamer.
Fair enough. What a great tournament for him.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
A KD of 2. That is insane.
Wait, what?
Think about that.
Are those exact numbers? Is this real?
I think it might be. It might be.
Yeah, the whole tournament.
Or are you dreaming, Natu?
Maybe this is just a dream. No, I don't know. But yeah, regardless of those numbers, they look staggering. But just by eye test, he had a freaking awesome tournament. So many big rounds, so much impact, as we just saw in the clip previous. You could easily say that he is the reason they won this tournament. I mean, hard not too far away from Dreamer, I think, in terms of impact. And the third guy, Victor, probably not as much impact, but I think that's a deserved MVP for Dreamer.
Definitely.
Yeah, the firepower really showing from Dreamer. I hope he can keep this form up after this tournament also. But yeah, a key player without which I'm not sure if Fiend could have taken the first place home. So great job from Dreamer.
Yeah, and it feels like Fiend at the moment has a lot of life left. This team is just looking better and better by the matches that we're playing on the ELISA Invitational. Guys, just to recap the whole tournament, how they were playing, Fiend was kind of a surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, like we said, Bulgaria always prevails when it comes to ELISA Invitational. This tournament, it's Fiend's time. Before it was Skade's time. Now the older dogs. Skade, I consider Skade the new kids, I guess, and Skade with some of the older, more veteran guys, and they managed to take it all the way. That's cool to see. We did see quite a few upsets. Gambit not making the final is a big upset. Lyngby Vikings winning ends is a big upset. Fiend taking big is an upset, not necessarily like a massive upset, but it is still an upset. I think that pretty much sums it up for upsets, I guess.
I think that's about it. It was a fun playoff bracket.
Yep. Yeah, it was fun to watch that. And my last question, and I understand that you guys aren't psychic, you can't read their minds, but from here, where does Fiend go?
Keep grinding?
Yeah, I think they're just going to keep on grinding, play more tournaments. They seem like a team that is willing to play anything that's up ahead of them and be happy to accept a lot of invitations. And yeah, that's what a team needs to do when they're around that 30 to 20 mark in rankings. So of course they're going to be hoping to get some invites or possibilities to play in bigger tournaments more after the close call in the RMR.
Yeah. And obviously the results here help, like beating a couple of really solid teams in Big and Copenhagen Flames. They might be looking at a top 20 ranking here. We like our rankings here at the Counter-Strike ecosystem, and we know how important they are in terms of getting invites to deeper stages in tournaments. So I think Fiend is going to be pretty happy with this one, and we might be seeing more of them.
Yeah, and definitely. And before we say goodbye, I think it's a good time for us to actually check out what our predictions were.
And I'm out.
Yeah?
I'm good.
Later.
Skip this segment.
Don't leave yet. Okay. So pretty much everything went wrong for the two of us.
Yep.
Boys.
Yeah.
Rough day for you.
Yeah, but a good day for you.
If only I would have gotten the Copenhagen Wolves. Again, I say that.
Oh, yeah.
Flames, right? But Fiend apparently being our friend, or my friend here, getting the prediction right. But there we go.
Well, to be honest, the game number 2 was kind of a hard sell that the Copenhagen Flames were actually going to win that one. So that's a little bit of an insane turn of events. And at the moment, we can actually see the scoreline for us, and I have the lowest point.
Greg with the win. Congrats on that, and Nato with the comeback today.
I mean, I'll take the second place.
Can I just tap
Typically
this
the
somehow?
last.
It can't be covered.
I'll be.
Can someone from
more
the
than
studio
happy.
cover this?
What I've learned is from Nato's strats is embrace the madness here at ELISA Invitational. In terms of predictions, I'm gonna try to keep that in mind.
Ah,
for the next one.
There's always the next time.
It's luck.
Hey.
It's just luck. Come on.
Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Okay, let's just wrap this up. This is the ELISA Invitational Fall 2021. Fiend is the winner, and they take home that $50,000 prize pool, which is kind of a cool. No, sorry, a $50,000 first place
Price.
prize.
There we go.
Thank you. You're really good.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's it pretty much from us. My name is Donut. I was your host, and that's Natu. That's Robo. We're out. Have a good time, and we'll see you the next time, I guess.
Red Bull Flick Invitation comes to Helsinki in November. Amateurs challenges the top names in Counter-Strike like Alexi B and Valk, Dota and Diha, Nico and Hunter. Come and witness live the race for €50,000. Get your tickets now at redbull.fi/flick.
Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me.